Ukraine.
Seeking to pressure Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky to engage in peace talks with Russia, President Trump has ordered a pause on U.S. military aid to Ukraine. A White House official says it's being reviewed to ensure it's contributing to a solution. Earlier, Trump said,
"The deal can be made very fast. It should not be that hard a deal to make. It could be made very fast." Now, maybe somebody doesn't want to make a deal, and if somebody doesn't want to make a deal, I think that person won't be around very long.
The decision does not affect cyber operations conducted by other agencies, including the CIA. Ben Thomas, Washington.
Higher tariffs now in effect on goods from Canada and Mexico, two countries the president says have not done enough to stop the flow of deadly fentanyl into the U.S. Higher tariffs on China as well. China and Canada are retaliating. Mexico threatens retaliation. The president goes prime time tonight, delivering an address to a joint session of Congress.
Riding a wave of head-spinning executive activity during his first few weeks in office, the president will lay out his ambitious agenda. He's expected to focus on his administration's immigration efforts at the border, reducing the size of the federal workforce, and foreign affairs, ranging from Gaza to Ukraine. The president's economic message will be colored by new tariffs going into effect today. He'll be urging the Republican-led Congress to pass a budget that funds his priorities, including tax cuts. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Target, the latest retailer to check in with its quarterly results. Sales and profits slipped during the crucial holiday shopping season. However, Target did exceed expectations. Its stock edging a bit higher ahead of this morning's Wall Street opening bell. Right now, the Dow futures down 125, NASDAQ futures off 140 points. More on these stories, townhall.com.
The words you are about to hear are taken from letters sent in by members of the Trinity Debt Management Program.
Dear Trinity, today I'm making my final credit card payment.
Before I came to you, I was in a constant state of anxiety and panic, but now there is hope for my family's financial future.
Working with Trinity made me understand that I'm not alone.
You really do help people.
Your kindness will never be forgotten.
Without Trinity support, I would not have achieved my lifelong goal of becoming debt-free.
We saved a lot on interest and penalties, of course, but the reward was the gift of human kindness.
Trinity has carried me through a very difficult time in my life. You're amazing.
I used to feel so anxious and hopeless. Now I feel grace and peace.
God bless Trinity as you continue to help others become debt-free.
If credit card debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976.
French President Macron says he's set to start discussions on nuclear deterrence with the European allies. Macron has hinted that France could help to protect other countries. The comments gained urgency after President Trump raised questions about the transatlantic alliance and the defense of Ukraine. Mr. Trump's remarks raised concern among European NATO allies, which have for decades counted on the powerful U.S. nuclear deterrent. European Union leaders addressing the issue today during a special summit in Brussels, the summit focusing on support for Ukraine and European defense. A Pakistani official says residents have fled a border area with Afghanistan after forces from both sides clashed into the early hours of the morning. Today was the second consecutive day of gunfire back and forth. That key crossing between the two countries has been closed since the 21st of February because of a dispute between Pakistan and Afghanistan. News and analysis at townhall.com. Following her confirmation by the Senate, Linda McMahon, America's new Secretary of Education.
McMahon will face the competing tasks of winding down the Education Department while also escalating efforts to achieve Trump's agenda. Already, the Republican president has signed sweeping orders to rid America's schools of diversity programs and accommodations for transgender students while also calling for expanded school choice programs. At the same time, Trump has promised to shut down the department and said he wants McMahon to, quote, put herself out of a job. The Senate voted to confirm McMahon 51-45. Bernie Bennett, Washington.
National Weather Service warning of dangerous storms this week. To quote the Weather Service, a threat of blizzard conditions, high winds, flash flooding, severe weather, dust storms, and critical to extreme fire weather conditions across the heartland. Tornadoes could rake parts of the Deep South before moving north into parts of Appalachia and the Mid-Atlantic region. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here? I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel wishing, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
Yes, sir. Are you? No, I'm getting audio from me. I'm just not hearing you. I'm going to pot you up a little bit.
That's why I didn't hit all the buttons.
Hey!
The one button didn't light up when I hit it.
I was like, why am I not hearing you?
Because it's Monday all over again.
But I could hear you through this ear, but not this ear.
That's weird. Well, my apologies. Good morning. Since you didn't hear me once again. Good morning, everybody. I'm here.
Windswept though we may be, we are here.
I hear tell that wind today is going to be worse than yesterday.
Dude, I don't know how it could be worse than yesterday. And I know it was a specific just like window of time, but yesterday it looked like Baghdad outside. Like downtown Iraq.
You know, I was telling Sean that just yesterday when this was probably around 2 o'clock when I'm going to say that was probably the dustiest.
When we were in the thick of the haboob.
The dustiest in downtown anyway.
Yep.
I said, yeah, this reminds me of when I was in Kuwait, when I sat in Kuwait, because there were days that they had like this where it was, it's just sand, just like that. And to navigate around, you had to wear goggles and masks and all kind of stuff just to go to the chow hall. And those would last like 2-3 days when I was there for them. But, that's the only time I've ever seen. I know, like, Arizona gets those haboobs and things like that, but I've never been a part of that.
They literally declared a haboob in Tucumcari. Or, no, I'm sorry, Gallup. Yeah, they said the Gallup area was experiencing a legit haboob.
Well, I guess ours didn't quite hit the number.
Ours was a side haboob.
Haboob adjacent.
Yes. We got, like, the cleavage of the haboob.
That's right. Yeah, we got the wired part. But, so we are expecting more of that. We do have a high wind warning that's in effect through 5 p.m., a red flag warning that technically won't officially kick in until 8 a.m. this morning. That will remain in effect through 6 p.m. this evening. But they're talking more dust. A high of 67. The winds will be out of the northwest 30 to 35, gusting as high as 50 miles per hour today.
Yeah.
So that's about what yesterday was.
Stay as much as you can within city limits, because as soon as you get, like, I had to drive to the base today, and as soon as I left, like, town proper, it was just gray out.
Well, you heard the nightmares that were going on 285 yesterday. I imagine there's going to be more of that. As a person that has traveled that stretch of highway, as many of y'all have many of time, y'all know when that wind kicks up, there's spots on that road where you lose visibility.
Oh, completely.
Yeah. That was actually one of the scariest driving things, was right there at the county line, Eddy and Chavez County line there, just north of Artesia. There was that dairy farm, and I remember one windy day that it created literally this dust highway right across 285, right about that line there. And there was a good quarter mile of drive that I could not see past the hood of the car.
That's terrifying to me.
And the part that scared me the most was I stayed in the left lane and just kept going. Like, nah.
In the left, you say?
In the left.
See, that's actually the same. When you're in a windstorm or a haboob like this, and you have two lanes, stay in the leftmost lane because most traffic will be pulling over and they leave their headlights on. Thusly, you thinking, oh, they're in front of me.
That's the thing I'm pointing out is literally somebody stopped in the right lane, and I didn't see them until I literally passed. And I was like, you're an idiot because someone's going to plow into you.
Slam into
He's
you.
literally in the middle of the right lane doing
Right.
that. Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, other tips, turn your headlights on no matter what when you're driving and stuff like this, because if we can't see you, we can see your headlights.
Yeah.
It's not for
Imagine,
your sake.
does it work like high beams? Don't use the high beams.
I didn't
'cause of
try my
fog.
high beams yesterday, but
Never done. I don't know what the dust rules are on that. I know fog. They didn't teach me dust rules in driver's ed back in Maryland. Not something they had to deal with very often there. But yeah, this we at least got one more day of this. By tonight, the winds are going to tamp down 5 to 10, after midnight, and then tomorrow we'll have a day of respite, and then Thursday gets bad again.
great.
Yeah.
So just enough time to batten down the hatches tomorrow.
Yeah, well, now Thursday's winds, they're like, 20 to 30 gusting to 40. So
Oh, okay.
maybe a little less.
Thanks, Captain Optimistic.
And then, just to add a little more fun, there's a chance of rain and snow showers Friday night and Saturday morning.
Honestly, cool.
Yeah.
Tamp down some of this dust.
Yeah.
It was
Well, the snow part's a little weird.
right. My throat, I'm all dusted up.
A little
Verklempt. Yeah, Thomas mentioned something yesterday, and you mentioned it to me. The reason for a lot of the real like microscopic dust in the area is because of all that silt like river dirt that's been kicked up from the floods.
That's kind of what the rumor is, that we got all that flooding in the earlier, and it leaves that river silt dust from all the standing water, and that's kind of what's been all kicked up now.
Well, do you remember a week after the floods happened, we got a really good windy day, not like this, but a good windy day, and it was doing the same thing. It was kicking all that very microscopic dust up.
And then back then there was still probably the layer of caked on a lot of things still, because not as much cleanup had gotten
right.
done. So, yeah, that's what we're dealing with.
Another day in paradise.
I'm going to take us a guess and say it's probably a smart idea if you do have to travel. Check nmroads.com or download the NM Roads app and give it a gander to make sure all the roads on the route to which you're traveling to are not dealing with closures or delays or accidents and things because of the weather here. So, like I said, 285 had a bunch of it yesterday. I'm going to anticipate more of that today.
Yeah.
Schools, be on the listen. They may be having kids pick them up if, those tall school buses and these winds probably not the best vehicles to be hanging out in during this time. So
I think I set a trend yesterday, and I think maybe the school might be mad at me for it, because I pulled up to Hunter School to pick them up, and I was there about 20 minutes early, or about 10 minutes early. Instead of waiting, I just got out of my car and actually walked into this, like I had them let me in and checked him out, like signed him out. And then I noticed another parent and then somebody else. And then like they just kept coming. And I'm like, oh, they saw me do it and thought, oh, that's okay then. Sorry about that.
it's like when you're waiting for the store to open and it's like 2 minutes before it opens and there's like everyone's sitting in their cars in the parking lot and no one wants to get out to see if it's open or be the first one at the door.
One guy
but
walks.
then one does, and then the floodgates open.
Yep.
Everyone and their uncle starts
They're like, why didn't I think of that?
Well, I'm going to go second. If that guy's going first, I'm going to go second.
I'm just here for a couple of things. I'll be quick.
That's right. I don't want to. That guy's going to be here for 5 things, and I got to wait. And I was here the same time he was.
Oh, dude, I just now had a weird flashback to COVID times. The lines.
Oof. I just want a roll of TP.
That's all a man wants. Just help a brother out.
That's right. But so be careful, be safe,
Pocket rocks.
and be on the listen for any updates, changes, and things as the day progresses here. Let me give you the rundown for today's show. We got a bevy of things for you for today.
Indeed.
Actually, we're going to start off here this hour. Doug Weezer's going to join us in just a few minutes from the Walker Aviation Museum. Give us an update on things over there. Of course, they just had the dedication ceremony for the missile silo placard there at right at the airport. So that's happened since last time we talked. So we'll talk about that and things they got going on. 8 o'clock hour, got a little treat for everybody. Joining us on the phone in the 8 o'clock hour, Mark Richards with the My Ashley Foundation will be joining us, and with him will be special guest actor, best-selling author Kevin Sorbo will be joining us.
Conan the Barbarian.
That's right. He is actually. They're going to be doing the My Ashley Foundation has partnered with the Artesia Downtown Lions. They're doing a golf tournament and banquet the weekend of April 4th, 5th, and 6th, and they're going to have a banquet the night of the 4th, and Kevin will be a guest speaker there for that event that evening. I think he's going to be playing golf throughout the weekend there too as well. I hear
Nice.
he is a avid golfer. So, but we'll talk with Kevin and Mark here in the 8 o'clock hour about that event, and just probably talk a little movies and all that stuff with Kevin as well. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, we're going to talk with or replay our interview we had with Peggy Boland talking Camp Invention, which is happening the first week of June, and deadlines for signups are coming quick. Matter of fact, the first discount, the $25 one, that deadline ends the 20th of this month. So
you best get on it, doggone it.
That's correct.
Yes.
Boy, howdy, yes. So we're going to play that interview for you here in the 9 o'clock hour. Plus, we'll have all the newses of the local, national variety, your Wall Street business updates, and sports, and everything else we can come up with for today's show.
Indeed.
But first, the thing that is on everybody's cabeza at the moment, your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're getting some return flow around that low pressure system up in the central plains, and that'll kick the wind up to about 50 or 55 miles an hour today. Watch out for some areas of blowing dust. We'll have partly sunny skies this morning, sunshine this afternoon, and we're in the upper 60s to about 70. Overnight will be clear. The wind will calm down a little bit. Our lows in the low 30s, sunny and mid 60s Wednesday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 49 degrees and breezy here in Roswell. Humidity is at 31%. Winds are out of the west at 21, gusting to 51 at the moment. Like I said earlier, we do have the high wind warning in effect right now through 5 p.m. Red flag warning will take effect today as well, kicking it off here in about 8 o'clock and remaining in effect through 6 p.m. this evening. Today, widespread dust. Pretty much all day they say till about 3. Sunny and 67, but winds will be blowing today out of the northwest 30 to 35, gusting as high as 50 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear with an overnight low of 32 degrees. Winds will be out of the northwest 15 to 20. Winds will start dying down after midnight, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Wednesday, we're looking at sunny skies, 68 for a high. Winds will be out of the east, 5 to 10. Shifting to the south, 10 to 15 for the afternoon. So enjoy Wednesday. Kind of a little eye of the storm there for Wednesday, because Thursday the wind and all that picks back up. We're looking at patchy blowing dust, mostly cloudy. 76 for a high on Thursday. Winds will be out of the southwest, 10 to 20 early, increasing 20 to 30 for the afternoon, gusting as high as 40 miles per hour. Friday, more of the patchy blowing dust. For the afternoon, sunny and 68. And then Friday night, we're looking at a 20% chance of rain or snow showers after 11, so overnight. Partly cloudy, 35 for an overnight low. And then a 30% chance at rain and snow showers before, pretty much till about noon. They said they could see a little rain for the afternoon, but partly cloudy and a high of 54. And then sunny on Sunday, 67 for a high. But batten down the hatches today, Thursday, and enjoy Wednesday. That'll be the little break. If you got any outdoor things for the week, might be Wednesday the day to do it. All right, 7:19. We're going to take about a 3-minute break here, and then Doug Weiser with the Walker Aviation Museum will join us on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Injury, surgery, or illness can set you back, but you don't have to recover alone. At Artesia General Hospital, our rehabilitation services team provides physical, occupational, and speech therapy to help you regain strength, mobility, and confidence. Take the next step toward recovery. Call 575-736-8174 today to schedule an appointment and get back to living life to the fullest.
Maybe your AC unit needs a little tender, loving care. If you don't know where to turn, then you don't know jack. Fergalicious. In fact, they're downright funky. Fergalicious. Let the boys at Fergie's Plumbing and Heating get your AC unit ice cold, just like some of my lady friends. Don't let any fool make you lose your cool. Fergie's Plumbing and Heating. If you don't know Fergie, then you don't know Jack. 632-2660. Fergalicious. If you need a Kubota that works and plays hard, stop looking. You'll find everything you need at Amigo Machinery. When it comes to tough Kubota tractors, mowers, construction equipment, and utility vehicles, all with low-rate financing, Amigo Machinery is your one-stop shop. We are passionately committed to providing our customers with the highest quality products, most innovative solutions, and services delivered with integrity and professionalism. Stop by Amigo Machinery in Roswell or see us online at amigo-machinery.com.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. 1,608 head of cattle sold on Monday on an uneven market with excellent buyer tendency compared to last week. Stocker calves sold steady to 7 higher, feeder cattle 5 to 7 lower. Packer cows and bulls sold steady 3 to 400 pound steers 432, 445. 3 to 400 pound heifers 367, 399. 4 to 500 pound steers 352, 432. 4 to 500 pound heifers 352, 367. 5 to 600 pound steers 312, 352. 5 to 600 pound heifers 290, 352. 6 to 700 pound steers 275, 312. 6 700 pound heifers 252, 290. 7 800 pound steers 258, 275. 7 800 pound heifers 237, 252. Packer cows 138, 152. Canner and cutter cows 120, 130. Packer bulls 160, 171. Feeder bulls 140, 150. Cow calf pairs not well tested. Top half the bred cows $2,000 to $2,300 per head. We do appreciate the business, and we'll talk to you next Monday morning. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. 1 in 3 snake bite victims is drunk. 1 in 5 is tattooed. Hold my beer and check this out. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 7 o'clock. And joining us in studio from the Walker Aviation Museum, I guess president would be the proper term.
President of the board.
Yeah, president of the board. Doug Weezer back with us. Morning, Doug.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing good. Hopefully you got a few rocks in your pockets to keep you grounded today.
Oh, God, I do. No day for flying.
Yeah,
and,
no,
or driving.
Driving or just pretty much being outside.
Yeah, we'll skip that.
Yeah.
Dusty, windy.
Yeah, unless you're making your own Dune movie or something.
Yeah.
Then the perfect situation. If you're a filmmaker, get out there and make your movies.
There you go. There you go. Special effects.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But for folks that are not familiar, of course, Doug or Robert, someone from the museum, they join us each and every month. And the Walker Aviation Museum, if you're new to town or, I don't know, just live under a rock or just haven't heard, is a museum that is dedicated to the military base that was here in Roswell, the Roswell Army Airfield, later Walker Air Force Base. And so it really, the history of that, but also really covers the history of our role during the Cold War era with the ICBM missiles, those first generation missiles, things like that. But what I really love about the museum is it, as much as it focuses on the missions and the things that the base did, it equally focuses on the people and the life that was, what it was like at the base there. And that's what the museum's all about, is preserving that history and allowing generations to come and see what was happening here in a pretty important time in America's history.
It was. The Walker Museum just sort of makes a statement about what Walker did and how many pilots were trained before that at the Army Airfield. And the place that, and many people don't remember the Cuban Missile Crisis. We played a big role in that, only because we had... that
was one of the scariest weeks in a lot of people's lives in that time in the 60s.
Yeah, the face down.
I'm going to take a stab publicly. The closest we've ever had to nuclear, to the full nuclear mutual destruction and all that stuff. Basically what the end game was for the Cold War.
Right. And we played a big part in that. We were a SAC base, and we had B-52s. We were one of the few bases that had armed atomic bombs ready to go. And then subsequently, we had the Atlas F missiles. That there were 12 that ostensibly protected the base. But then, more importantly, they were their first of intercontinental missiles that could reach targets overseas.
They were first strike options.
First strike options. Yeah. So we were pretty important during that time.
Absolutely. And basically, kind of with the missile stuff, what happened is technology got better.
Yes.
And so the more modern missiles they found other homes for.
They did.
Which thank goodness, because the missiles that were here in Roswell were the very first generation. It's like it's the first of anything. Yes. You know, it's like Formula 409. There was 408 other bad ones before they got to 409. The first generation, though functional, was not the end product or what you see anything remotely close to that today.
Correct.
So.
And the one thing you have to understand, the propellant was liquid rather than solid.
Which makes it very volatile.
Very unstable. And the silos were built at a cost. We just got done.
Think of it like NASCAR. Yes. You know, in modern NASCAR, you know, they don't just have a gas tank that they're pouring that gas into. They're fuel cells and that they do it into. And so that's kind of like the same style technologies they use it, so it's much safer. It's a little different, but roughly think of it in terms like that. That's what these missiles are.
Yeah.
So.
And so it was very dangerous, but it was dangerous, you know, and before that it was dangerous building the silos. So there were 8 people that lost their lives.
I was going to say, we just had the here a couple weeks ago, the dedication, and all those people lost their lives, had nothing to do with button pushing or any of these were construction workers, people building the silos.
Yeah, a crane fell in the silos, this and that and the other thing. It was very dangerous to do that. These were, a lot of them were local. An individual from El Paso that lost his life. Another individual, Christ, that came here, I believe, was maybe joined you. I don't know. That paid for the memorial and really believed in what the legacy here in Roswell. Yeah. Roswell's important to her. So
yeah, she kind of did when we had a chance to talk with her back a month or so ago. It was really just it's when people research history and then they realize that, and that's what it was, is she's just someone that had an interest and then basically said, why is there not something dedicated to these folks? And she made it her mission to make sure that happened.
She did.
That's what it is all
Yeah,
about.
she's the pilot, and she has a very good network in the United States that establish these kind of recognitions for people that served during the Cold War, that maybe didn't have, like you said, weren't the button pushers.
Sure.
Weren't the people down in the silos other than constructing them. So,
well, as a guy that was a weapons troop, served ground crew in the military, that's the thing that, you know, it is, and you know, certain movies are doing, and certain things are kind of doing it now, but or you know, like Masters of the Air is one of the more recent things that came out. You watch that, and you know, usually I'm gonna say the glory, because I don't know if that's the right term, but the spotlight is on the pilots, the you know, the people, the air crew, the people that are actually facing the flak.
Yes.
But I'm telling you, for every one of those guys, there's 3 of them on the ground that's been up all night turning wrenches, that has been working 24-hour shifts, you know, making sure that aircraft is ready to go. And now you're starting to see, those people were unsung heroes too, because without them, those missions never fly.
Yeah.
And so that's what I think Walker does a real good job of celebrating those folks.
It does. You know, and it promotes those STEM careers of ground crews, of aviators, of flight nurses, flight doctors, things like that. I mean, there's over 1,000 careers that have to do with aviation.
Well, if you just take one plane alone, and there's a crew chief on that thing, and he's kind of the, you know, mechanical guy. But then there's a person that just deals with avionics and the navigation systems. Then there's a crew that just deals with the weapons and the systems on it, loading it. Then there's a crew that just deals with the fuel, and that stuff. Then there's someone that just deals with sheet metal and things. If it's got problems with the fuselage or something, they come in and come in. Oh, and then you got an engine guy because and he works just on the engines and stuff. Oh, and by the way, then there's a whole nother crew of people that come in after this thing hits X amount of flying hours. They got to tear it down basically and put it back together again to make sure everything's good. And that's a whole nother crew that does that. So yes, there are so many different people that touch and involved with an aircraft, not just one aircraft. You know?
And I think Roswell will get a taste of that during the air races.
Yeah, now I think you're gonna see some of that firsthand here in May, and then of course in September when the first air show hits here.
Yeah, for every pilot, like you say, there's 10 people that take care of things.
Absolutely.
Sometimes more.
Absolutely.
And, privately, it gets a little bit. It's a little expensive, but.
Sure.
It's probably one of the most expensive sports there
I would say
is.
air racing isn't for the budget conscious people.
No.
Nor for the faint of heart. It is a high paced sport. Go watch some if you want to see what the Reno Air Races is about. Go do some videos. Just go do on YouTube and type in Reno Air Races, and I guarantee you'll be impressed with the race. It's literally NASCAR in the air. They're flying wingtip to wingtip on a race course, and it is exciting to watch. It is dangerous, a sport.
Yes.
They do have deaths in this sport. It doesn't happen every year, but it's not uncommon either.
Yeah.
So.
And there is some Cold War aircraft that are going to be out there. They race
you'll
them.
see some P-51s and some of those.
I don't know if you see any kind of F-85s and things like that, but there's a lot of different. There's 7 different groups of aviators. And it's exciting to see a lot of that legacy that of course they don't race bombers,
right?
But thank God. But
although that'd be a sight.
Yes, it would.
Because I've seen some people hauling in some bombers.
Yes.
They will get up and go if they need to.
So and Walker was known for his bombers.
Yeah,
I mean it really was. It was.
And he was as a brigadier general.
Yes,
in the pilot's chair, which was a huge frowned upon thing in that time.
Yes,
you're supposed to lead from the rear, not the front.
I don't think Doolittle was supposed to fly that flight to Japan, but
you know, it's funny. I just thought those Reno Air Races guys. I imagine for them to fly like P-51s. I imagine for car guys, it's kind of like owning a '67 Corvette or something.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's kind of what I think. It's like in the same. It's.
You might want to dress that with them. See if it is.
I'm going to ask him. Yeah. Matter of fact, I'm going to have this Friday. I think I'm going to have Fred on. I think he's going to join us on the show here. I need to ask him about that because I was just on. I was like, I imagine this is like car guys, but they kind of. Oh yeah, look at this. It's like, that's a P-51. What is that? A D block? What is that?
And they probably drive their Corvette to the airfield.
But I imagine. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if they probably don't have Corvettes because they sink all their money in the plane. So they probably drive in just a beater truck with a camper on it, and they got millions of dollars sunk in that airplane sitting out there. But as far as the museum itself,
the city is working diligently on helping us with the
flood.
So
we're getting closer to getting that
we're still close.
Up? Okay.
I'll be back on April Fool's Day. Hopefully,
all right.
Good Lord willing.
Is that the Tuesday the 1st? All right.
That's Tuesday the 1st.
All right. And, hopefully we'll have no jokes.
I don't know. Do you do remotes? I mean, we can open the museum in style. We'll be.
But is that kind of around the date they anticipate?
Oh, we're breathing hard. Let's put it that way.
We'll cross fingers and do our whatever mojo thing or whatever.
City's working on it. Bobby's working on it, and we're looking forward to getting that open within the next couple of weeks.
Just curious, as far as the artifacts, the things at the museum, all that's fine, right? It was just the building itself got kind of messed up.
Yeah, the flight simulators, all that kind of thing. We were very, very fortunate. Not too much damage.
Okay. There's a lot of electronics there, and I'm guessing they probably sat in a little standing water.
And there's so many people. I mean, we're all volunteers.
Mm-hmm. Could use more of, by the way.
Yes. We have spots on the board. We have spots when we reopen to basically staff the museum. That requires board members. It requires people like like Bob Donnell.
Yeah.
I mean, you mentioned Robert Sherman.
Yeah,
I mean,
Robert.
these guys are. Whew. Then you got Allie Bishop. She's
There would be no museum without these folks.
No,
it would have gone the way of the dodo.
And a great support. List is long.
And this is why we'd love to see more volunteers. Whether it's to serve on the board or serve as docents.
Yes.
Or just saying, hey, I'd like to help out wherever. You need me wherever you need me to help clean up stuff or archive stuff or do that kind of thing. I can do that. Whatever. There's always a role somewhere.
Yes.
Or serving on the board. There's people that, Juliana does a lot of the computers
Juliana's
and all
another
that
one.
stuff.
Yeah, she's definitely whoa.
And but maybe you want to offer legal services or offer whatever your business and say, hey, I can serve on their board and help from that capacity. All of it would be very beneficial.
Yeah. And if you feel like contributing, I mean, you can call me personally, 575-420-0067.
Bucks is another way to help out. Because like we said, the museum has not been open, and it does rely on people leaving donations and things. That's a big part of memberships and all that as part of this too. So if you go to the museum's website, wafbmuseum.org, there you can access, like if you want to show your kid all about STEM jobs and all that kind of stuff, all of that's there at the website. But there is a Donate Now button that you can also click and make a contribution.
Yes.
And that would greatly help because, like we said, the museum's been shut down for a couple months now.
Yes.
Income has not been flowing in. And expenses have been increasing.
So we're ready to gear up,
and so we're ready to open back up and be here. We got a busy season coming up with the air show. We're gonna have a dress rehearsal for the air show in May here.
Yes.
And so we would definitely want the museum to be open, and there's going to be a lot of people in town that might want to check it out.
You've got all the pilots coming in to be certified here in March. And a lot of things happening from now until the big show in September. And we're looking forward to be part of it. And,
you're going to put your party dress on for that one.
Yes,
it'll be front and center for that. So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Who knows? And that's what I love too, is I feel like this is a great partnership opportunity because what the museum does and what the air races, there's a lot of common ground there.
It is. There's a lot of joint
and I can
things
see
there.
a lot of cool opportunities in the future. A lot of good things for the museum and a lot of opportunities.
Yeah.
One thing that I really like is because of this, we get an air show back. You know what I mean? We get and this one's going to be a lot bigger than the ones we could put together.
Definitely.
They get the Blue Angels and Thunderbirds, but they're not always the highlight of the show. Is what I mean.
No,
where they're the highlight of everybody else's show. They're kind of like, well, they kind of take second banana at this one.
It's a great opportunity for Roswell.
Absolutely,
and, a lot of these hidden gems in Roswell, like the museum. I don't know. We talked about Museum Day last time.
We'll be doing that again here when that time comes back up. But now's the time. Volunteers, people get involved as we get ready for this kind of next phase in Roswell's chapter here. The museum really needs support, needs volunteers, needs money, needs all the above to get get ready and let's make the most of this. And that's what it's about. And what I'm seeing is what this is now setting the table where, yes, Roswell's looked at as aliens, and I'm not going to say it's never not going to be looked at, first thing out of people's mouths when they think of Roswell's aliens. But they're equally going to be like, oh, yeah, and they're all the flying, and they do a lot of airplane stuff. And they
do.
Always do. But now with bringing Reno and some of the things that are going on, it's kind of getting a bigger spotlight put on it. And so this is all good stuff.
Yeah, so. National Air Races will be phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to double the size of the population here in Roswell during that time.
Well, this is the blessing that is Walker Air Force Base. Because of that Air Force Base and the types of runways and the missions that it serves, it's made that land so useful and so it creates so many opportunities. And so we kind of look at it now as the blessing that keeps on giving, even though we thought when they shuttered this bad boy into the 60s there, we thought, man, there goes Roswell, and here we are. Here we are, and we weathered the storm, and and like a phoenix, that area is kind of rebirthed into a mecca for business, commerce, and now entertainment.
Yeah, 80 acres. Yeah, it's phenomenal what they're doing out there to bring the grandstand, 10,000.
Yeah, they just broke ground here last week.
Yeah, he was. It's exciting to hear that they plan concerts. It's an off-season venue. Which is great.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big deal.
I think Roswell really understands what
and I've heard
what's going to happen.
I don't think all the plans have gone public, but I'm hearing there's more things that are on tap as part of this too.
Mm-hmm.
So just get excited, folks. This is really and this is what I'm saying. You kind of got a chance to get in on the ground floor through the Walker Aviation Museum. Come in, be a volunteer. You can kind of, and I'm going to take a stab when time comes around for these air shows and all that. The museum's going to be highly involved, and as a volunteer, you get to do things and be a part of things, and that maybe others don't get to be a part of.
Correct.
So.
You get to see a lot of different things behind the scenes.
So I'm trying to just say, hey, this might be kind of cool if you play your cards right.
Definitely.
So reach out. Go to the website, wafbmuseum.org. There they've got contacts. You can shoot a email or anything else like that.
Mm-hmm.
I invite you to like and follow the museum's Facebook page as well.
Yes.
Just search Walker Air Force Base Museum. It should be the first thing that pops up. And then you can like and follow it, and then you can see a lot of Juliana's hard work there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. God bless her.
Absolutely. And when it does open up again, please, we'd love to, folks, if you haven't been in it, come see it for yourself. Come see the great treasures that are in your own backyard. And this is the one thing I'm really excited for, too, is as we get to the summer months here, it's kind of reunion season a little bit for Walker folks. And
it is.
A lot of families and things take their vacations, and they'll pass through Roswell because they had family that served, or they themselves were here as kids or something like that, and they kind of want to check it out and see. And a lot of times they come with stories, memories, artifacts sometimes.
Yes, they do.
From their time at Walker. And that is the coolest part about Walker Aviation Museum. Like, the museum and all that stuff's cool, but those days when someone walks in, my dad was on the baseball team here. My dad worked he was a fuel guy out here or whatever. Yeah. Love all that. Oh man, yeah, we lived here. I was a kid, and I lived right out the base there, down over here. Yeah, you get those stories all the time.
Yeah,
and that's what's the cool part about the museum.
You meet second and third generation pilots that fly in here that are ferrying aircraft to somewhere else, different parts of the world. Their father or grandfather was based here, and it's interesting to hear their story when you run into them. And it's very intriguing that people still remember Walker, and it's part of where Roswell was. And I always say you gotta know where you've been before you know where you're going.
Without Walker and without this base and without this this community, we would not have won World War II.
No,
telling you right now,
man, for sure.
We were this community was very much vital to the success of World War II.
Yeah.
Through everything that was going on.
Produced thousands of pilots and support personnel.
Yeah. If you were sitting in a B-17 in World War II, odds are you spent time in Roswell at some point or another learning your job.
Exactly. Exactly. It was a place to be.
Absolutely. So that's why this museum is so cool. And when it does open up here, hopefully in a month or so, we want you to come visit it, support it, check it out. Embrace it. It is one of Roswell's treasures, and like I said, I feel like with the writing on the wall, this thing's going to get bigger, better, stronger, faster here in the coming months here, and we would love for you to be a part of that success. So,
come check us out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come check us out.
When do you guys meet and stuff? As far as the board, is it
the board that we meet next Monday or Tuesday?
Okay, so you'll meet like the second Monday of the month.
Second Monday of the month.
If you're interested in that, please reach out. Go to the website and say, hey, maybe you can come to the next board meeting and learn a little bit more. Meet people,
definitely,
and get the process going. And but look for bigger, better things.
Yeah.
And as soon as that museum opens up and the public's ready to go, we'll let folks know. And hopefully you make a trip on down there and spend an hour or two seeing what's in your own backyard.
Yeah. Hopefully we have the next board meeting at the museum.
That's the goal at the museum itself.
Yeah,
so hopefully that's where it's going to happen. But and then, like you said, when it does open, this is what, because of volunteers and things, it really kind of works around the flying schedule. So that kind of midday
9:30,
11, 10 till about 1-ish, 12:30, 1-ish. That's when the museum's open. Now, that being said, more volunteers means more docents, means more opening hours. So if we can get a steady, stable, and then I get it, people, and right now it's board members, and they can work a day here or they can work a couple hours here. But if we can get a stable of folks that can do it, we can do a 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday or something.
Correct.
If we get the volunteers
Get the
staff that to man it, basically. And to do that. So if you're interested in doing that, we'd love to have you. If you love talking to people, meeting people, your knowledge of the museum is you'll learn that on the fly.
You will.
But if you love to talk with people, you love customer service type stuff in a fun way, because it's really chit-chatting and swapping stories. It's a lot of that. It's a lot of just learning, and if you love that side of it, because there's a lot of wisdom that's going to be implanted on you. Because I was saying, some of the people you're going to meet are seasoned.
Yes. Some of the people you meet, like us. Like Robert was. He served in the Air Force for years.
Yeah, he's got quite the military career.
Oh, he does.
Yeah,
quite the knowledge and experience.
Yeah,
sure.
And I imagine, especially some of his early stuff where, he's working with the pilots and things, and I imagine he got a lot of payback. Because he's the guy that was making them spin and puke and do everything else. And then when he got incentive flights, like, oh, Sherman, huh? We got a few G's for you, buddy.
Definitely.
That is one thing that pilots love universally doing, is if you get an incentive flight and you're military, or usually it's like an award, like if you're Airman of the Quarter, or you do something like that. They say, hey, and if your base is a base that can do that, I was at a stealth base, and unless they strap me to the wing, I ain't gonna. It's a one-seater deal. But if they have, like, if you're a 15 base or a 16 base, a lot of times they have some D models that are 2-seaters, and they'll put an airman back there, and the goal is, let's make this kid puke, and they'll go up there and pull G's and do Top Gun nonsense all over the place, and by the end you're greening. And it's like, was that fun? Yeah, because you gotta act tough for your buddies.
They make you pay for it.
Oh yeah, but it's fun. It really is.
Yeah.
Cool. But I imagine Robert got an extra dose of that just because he's the guy making them spit and puke every, their certification.
I imagine he did. I've heard no stories about that.
Right. Well, some of those stories get saved for later in the evening and things like that. But that's what this museum, it's really the history of the people. It's the history of what happened here and what people did here. And I folks, come support this treasure in your backyard. As soon as we get opening here, please, in the meantime, make donations. Go to the WAFBU Museum website. Those donations would be greatly appreciated. And let's get the ball rolling and get ready for the summer, a busy summer of stuff out at this airport. And the museum ready for it. It'd be great. This is good stuff. Folks.
It's an inspiration to young people as well.
Absolutely.
And that's eliminators.
If you're a parent, especially a parent of a kid that's middle school age or getting ready to go into high school, and they're kind of please show them the website right now. Show them all and say, look, these are all career fields in STEM, and it's a lot of aviation stuff, but not all of it. Some of it's oil field. Pretty much anything that's STEM related in southeast New Mexico, it's talking about it on that website. So it's really, and then it goes in what the job is, what the qualifications, what the training requirements are. So they really look and they say, man, that sounds like a really cool job. And at that age, they can already, kind of set the table for their training and where they need to apply their learning and all that stuff. And next thing you know, they're on the path to be the next pilot or the next, air traffic controller or oil field engineer, whatever, that could be.
And it's the STEM covers a lot.
Absolutely. And of course, another thing going to put on the radar before, is when this does come back open again, if you got youth groups and things like that, that was one of the things that they love doing is they can bring smaller groups, and they'll break them up if it gets into two groups or whatever. But usually about 8 or 10 kids or so.
Yeah.
And they'll get to work on see the flight simulators. There's a couple different presentations. They get to work on the STEM stuff, and so they've got a whole program put together. So if you've got a youth group or a church group or organization that wants to come out and have fun, but learn a little bit about the museum and what it offers, please reach out. Now, I can't do it now, but when the museum opens back up here.
And we'll reach out, too. Yeah. I mean, you reach out, and we'll make it happen.
Yeah,
There's a lot of good stuff.
This is a lot of the stuff that kind of goes on the day-to-day at the museum here. So please, please go to the website again, wafbmuseum.org. Please read the stuff, make a donation you can, and reach out if you'd like to volunteer or get more involved here. So,
yeah.
Good deal. Anything we missed, Doug?
I don't think so.
Right.
I think we covered it rather well. A lot of integration with different other things that are going on.
It's going to be so much
fun.
It's exciting time, folks.
It is.
This is. I've been in this town since I'm not native, but I've lived here for 25 years. I've lived here since 2000.
Yeah.
And I've seen, opportunities come and go over those 25 years. I've never seen nothing of this magnitude in my time I've been here, for the potential of a game changer for our community here. This could literally turn us into Crucis-sized stuff in a relatively short amount of time.
Yeah.
This is a big deal. Think of the numbers you get from the UFO festival. Lots of numbers. This is going to be bigger than that.
Yes.
This is going to be bigger than that. This is going to rival Balloon Fiesta size numbers in here. We're talking, there's an international audience that likes this. And there is a lot of, and there's a lot of nationally that come traveling to this event.
It's their biggest stop. I mean, outside of Oshkosh. I mean,
it's going to garner a lot of people. It's going to put an international spotlight once again right here on Roswell.
Yeah.
So we are the only town of 50,000 probably on the planet known by everybody. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I mean, you call long distance.
Yeah.
I mean, you call across the nation. You say, well, where are you calling from? Roswell, New Mexico.
We all have to deal with that story.
We have to do that. So,
oh,
see
is there any
aliens?
Yeah. Yeah, we all know that one. And so this is if you don't realize that this thing's going to be much bigger than this is why you're hearing the meetings and people saying get ready for all this stuff.
Yes.
Roswell is about to become the center stage for a big event. And so every little part, the museum, from every little entity is getting ready for this.
Yes.
Yeah. So be a part of it with us.
Yes, definitely.
Well, good deal, Doug. Hopefully you don't have to hit the road with your day job much today, so you can sit at a desk.
Not today. Tomorrow. Hopefully the wind is
it's
better day
nicer
for
tomorrow.
Flying.
Tomorrow is a nice day tomorrow. So.
Okay.
Oh, do you usually fly these or do you drive them?
I drive them.
Okay, but say I didn't know if you got behind the because that's a thing around here. And it is a time saver.
It is a big thing. It is a time saver.
It's like drive 3 hours or fly 40 minutes. I'll take that.
Yeah.
My father-in-law, he was a pilot. He is retired and stopped doing, but he was an accountant in Ruidoso.
Oh,
he had a plane, and for a point, he got up to twin engine, instrument rated, and all that, and then he he was getting a little older, and then they had an incident. Everything was fine, but it's kind of scared him, and he kind of sold everything after that.
Yeah.
But for years there, he was we're going to Odessa, we're going here, we're going to fly to Mexico or whatever it is. They did all, and they flew right out of the Ruidoso airport, which I hear is one of the more interesting airports to fly in and out of because of the elevation.
It's a challenging one.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
It's a challenging one.
It's a good one for. So maybe those air race guys will, because they like to. They're always looking for a challenge.
Yeah.
Like, let's go see this bad boy.
Yeah.
They're up there doing touch and goes off this bad boy.
It's challenging.
Absolutely. Well, Doug, thank you very much. And
you're welcome. Thank you.
And we'll see you next month, if not sooner. And I imagine we're going to need to get you on as this thing opens up and as this month.
Probably so.
We're
can
probably
do
going
that.
to have to see you a little bit more often. Do all that. So.
Yeah.
We look forward to it.
I'll bring my amigos with me.
There you go.
So, that'll be great. Thanks, Michael.
The henchman. Thank you, Doug. It is 7:55. Let's pause for news, Kim Commando update, and maybe weather, and then more news. Don't go away.
Now for your Pecos Valley news update. I'm Jared Sorello. Thanks for joining us. A Roswell man has been convicted for murder and for shooting at or from an occupied vehicle, as well as 4 counts of child abuse. This case in connection to the shooting death of a woman in 2018. A jury convicted Raymond Anthony Lucero Jr. after a 4-day trial last week. Lucero's former girlfriend, Tess Haraghi, was killed when police said Lucero opened fire, firing multiple rounds into the woman's home in the 1200 block of West Hobbs Street in Roswell. The Artesia Senior Center is hosting art classes on Thursday mornings. The classes are put on by Artesia's own Junior Thurman. And, of course, you can always check out all of the Artesia Senior Center activities through their website or on their Facebook page. You're up to date. That's a look at local news headlines this hour. I'm Jared Sorello reporting.
Whether it's a confidential document or just a recipe for dinner, remember this. Every single thing that you print carries a hidden code. I'm Kim Commando for Oracle. You can cut your current cloud bill in half if you move to Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. See if your company qualifies at oracle.com/Kim. You can't spot them with the naked eye, but your printer embeds yellow dots on every piece of paper it spits out. These are called machine identification codes, and once decoded, they reveal the date, time, printer model, and serial number, all of which trace right back to you. Manufacturers say they're meant to stop counterfeiters from printing funny money. They do a lot more. These tiny yellow dots have been used to track down whistleblowers and the sources of leaked documents. You can try and find them by printing a page and examining it under a blue LED light or a microscope. So if you're privacy-minded, most inkjet printers don't embed tracking dots. They're the safer pick. Get more insider secrets like this with my free newsletter at getkim.com. Even if you think it's a bit overhyped, AI is suddenly everywhere, from self-driving cars to molecular medicine to business efficiency. If it's not in your industry yet, it's coming fast. But AI needs a lot of speed and computing power. So how do you compete without costs just spiraling out of control? It's time to upgrade to the next generation of the cloud, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, or OCI. It's a blazing fast and secure platform for your infrastructure, database, application development, plus all of your AI and machine learning workloads. OCI costs 50% less for computing and 80% less for networking. Thousands of businesses have already upgraded. Oracle is offering to cut your current cloud bill in half if you move to OCI. Offer ends March 31st, 2025. See if your company qualifies for this special offer at oracle.com/Kim. That's oracle.com/Kim, oracle.com/Kim, oracle.com/Kim.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're getting some return flow around that low pressure system up in the central plains, and that'll kick the wind up to about 50 or 55 miles an hour today. Watch out for some areas of blowing dust. We'll have partly sunny skies this morning, sunshine this afternoon, and we're in the upper 60s to about 70. Overnight will be clear. The wind will calm down a little bit. Our lows in the low 30s, sunny and mid-60s Wednesday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Let's look at the girls' state basketball tournament first round coming up this Friday. Roswell, as the 14th seed in Class 5A, they made it into the draw, and they'll play at number 3 Mayfield. Mayfield is 24-3 overall. Roswell, not a bad record, 14-13. These two teams played on January the 10th. Mayfield won in Roswell by 11 points. Meanwhile, Goddard slips into the tournament with a 13-14 record in Class 4A. They'll play at number 1 Kirtland Central. The Broncos are 25-3. That's Friday afternoon at 5. Dexter in Class 3A, 17-11 overall, will play at number 2 West Las Vegas. Friday at 6. Don't hold out high hopes for the Demons. They lost 75-11 earlier to the same team. Gateway Christian at Cliff in Class 1A, Friday at 6. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
The great one, Mark Levin, is now in Roswell on 106.5 KEND Roswell.
And we're closing in at 8 o'clock. Town Hall News is up next.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. President Trump visits Capitol Hill tonight. He'll address the American people from that high-profile venue.
It will look and sound like a State of the Union, but the joint address is for newly sworn-in presidents to present their agenda. The trappings will be familiar, though. Donald Trump will address lawmakers in the House chamber. Republicans will likely interrupt the speech with standing ovations, and Democrats will offer a response. This year from freshman Senator Elissa Slotkin of Michigan.
And White House correspondent Greg Clugston says it takes place at 9 Eastern Time. The president has followed through on his threat to impose additional tariffs on Canada, China, and Mexico. 25% levies on goods from Canada and Mexico, an additional 10% on Chinese imports. China, Canada, and now Mexico all promising retaliatory tariffs. The president's pausing U.S. military aid to Ukraine. That follows the Oval Office dust-up between Mr. Trump and Ukraine's Volodymyr Zelensky and the latter's refusal to sign a rare earth minerals deal with the U.S. And President Trump says if someone doesn't want to make a deal that could help to end the war,
that person won't be around very long. That person will not be listened to very long.
Computer chip giant TSMC will invest $100 billion expanding semiconductor manufacturing in the U.S., primarily in Arizona.
Taiwan pretty much has a monopoly on that market, and I think pretty much is not a term that's even appropriate. They do have a monopoly, and this is a tremendous move by the most powerful company in the world.
It's a move the president says will create tens of thousands of jobs. A severe weather threat extends from the deep south up to the east coast in the next day or so, a threat of heavy thunderstorms, fierce winds, and possibly even tornadoes. Sell-off this morning on Wall Street. The Dow is trading lower. It's down about 603 points. Townhall.com.
Hey everybody, Charlie Kirk here as Executive Director of Turning Point USA, a national radio host, podcaster.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
An alternative to President Trump's plan for that war-scarred region, the BBC's Lise Doucette in Cairo.
President Trump says he won't force his controversial ideas on anyone, but he also insists his plan is the only one which will work. Diplomatic sources who've seen Egypt's draft say it suggests the establishment of a temporary administrative committee to run Gaza once the war ends, with the Palestinian Authority having some oversight, but it doesn't include details of many difficult issues, including who will foot the huge building bill.
China's leaders overseeing a spell of deflation or falling prices. That contrasts with inflationary pressures prevailing elsewhere. While cheaper prices can be a blessing, deflation is a symptom of relatively weak demand as well as stalling economic growth. China witnessing its longest deflationary streak since the 60s. Townhall.com. Those that fail to learn from history can make huge blunders in the present. Case in point, the LA Kings selling Turkish-made scarves during Armenian Heritage Night.
The Los Angeles area is home to the largest Armenian community outside of Armenia. The neighboring countries are historic enemies stemming from the deaths of an estimated 1.5 million Armenians in massacres, deportations, and forced marches that began in 1915 in Ottoman Turkey. Historians widely view the event as genocide. Turkey vehemently rejects the label. The Kings are offering refunds or exchanges to people who bought the scarves. Keith Peters reporting.
Some Georgia lawmakers trying to get rid of automated cameras that enforce school zone speed limits, saying the cameras are more about making money than about the safety of kids. But others trying to keep them, saying that they do make drivers slow down. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The demolition, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The Deuce.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell Talk FM. Happy Blowing Tuesday.
Yes, sir. It's a blowy one out there. It is extra blowy. I went home and dug out a hat.
Yeah.
Because I'm sick of doing this. I had to adjust my hair so much yesterday that I kicked a static field up. I would approach my hair with my hand, and I'd see in my mirror, the hair would just climb up to meet the hand. It's like when you were a kid and you rubbed a balloon on your head.
Yeah, let's see.
It's like last week when I rubbed a balloon on my head.
It's like an hour ago, whatever. Yeah. Yeah. I don't have that problem anymore.
Yeah, I was gonna say
aerodynamic.
You just cut right through.
That's right. A swimmer in the wind.
Comparatively speaking, though, because you've spent time both now as a haired gentleman and a bald gentleman, as well as a balding gentleman, in windstorms like this. Is it a weird feeling or?
It's cooler.
I'd imagine.
Yeah. But yeah, it's nice not having the hair whipping in your face and all that other stuff. I will admit that. I do desire hats more. Yeah. And then I that's the bigger thing is I'm walking around like, man, why didn't I grab a hat before I left? I should have grabbed a hat. And that's the big thing.
It is, but I think you've now officially crossed that threshold of I've grown accustomed to your face.
Yeah, this is standard.
Bald Mike has sort of like the new figure. Yes. He's become the front of the characters.
When you see me, this is what you see.
That's right.
You don't see the balding Mike.
He's like today's action figure with so many different points of articulation.
That's right. But and that is lack of hair is part of that. It's kind of that, and I've lost weight, and that's part of it too.
Yeah,
But the hair thing really noticed.
By the way, speaking of, did you see Lizzo at the Oscars?
No, I missed that part. I saw parts of it, but I did not see her part.
Half of her is gone.
She lose a bunch of weight?
Oh, she lost a ton, and she's.
I knew that she was getting healthy and all. I haven't seen her,
yeah,
but I heard that was all going down.
She accredited it all to Ozempic, but she's healthy looking, very much so. But she dropped a ton.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, them semaglutides, they they really do a wallop.
It was just it's one of those things where, and she's an amazing singer. I don't know her career and all this, and what she does, and I know she shows a lot of herself.
Well, she took a DNA test. Turns out she's 100%. No, I'm not going to finish that.
I don't know her whole deal, but I do know that I'm going to say the court of public opinion pushed her this.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because at first she's trying to own it and embrace it, but
when you're criticizing your
and at the end of the day, it's not healthy. I mean, judging and all, not judging aside, to be that size is not healthy for your body.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just not.
It makes all kinds of different parts work a little harder.
Yes. And so for that reason alone, I'm glad she did that. It's healthy.
Yeah.
It's not healthy.
But
to
it was
live
just
like that.
it was just kind of shocking because like nobody's seen her for a little while, and then just all of a sudden she shows up and she's like, "Wow, what?"
So she had a coming out party kind of. Has she been kind of in the?
I think
has she been in the spotlight and we're just not our spotlight, or has she been kind of on the DL here?
As a younger gentleman myself, I try to keep my finger on the pulse of what's hip and trendy in today's society.
Whatever you got to tell yourself, buddy.
Yeah, it's fading fast.
You're almost 42.
Yeah. Almost 41. But no.
That's right, you are 40.
Yeah, I'm 40.
You're not young.
Oh, I'm
hole.
a spry young gentleman, sir. But
you ain't the kid no more.
No, it's true, I'm not. But about 7 months ago, that whole stink came out about how she was like lambasting her dancers for like gaining a few extra pounds.
Oh, was she? Okay, yeah, that's a bad image. When
it
you
was a whole like
when you are that size and busting people on their weight.
Yeah,
that's
so she kind of went into like we'll call it dark mode.
Okay.
I mean, she kind of like
so the public told her that
hid
they
from
didn't
the
appreciate
spotlight.
that.
Yeah.
The
said,
public will do that.
Oh yeah, 100%. The public will out. So she kind of went dark for a little while. I mean, went out of the spotlight for a little while, and after seeing her at the Oscars, that's wow.
Well, now I got to go look because I'm genuinely curious.
Yeah, just type in Lizzo Oscars, you'll find it.
So is she like a half a Lizzo now?
I'd say about half. I'd say about half a Lizzo.
Good for her.
Uh-huh.
Good for her.
She I want to say at least 100. Jelly Roll, the country singer, rapper, he lost 136 pounds over.
I believe
the
they call
course
them
of
crappers.
Yeah, it's
country rappers are called crappers.
You're not wrong. You are not wrong. But he said he lost 136 pounds, not with the help of like semaglutide. He just has started like
he just stopped eating food as much.
He looked at food as like everything else in his life was an addiction, and it wasn't doing him any good. So he stopped, nonsense eating when he was hungry.
Yeah.
He has been running. He ran like a 5K with Bert Kreischer, but he dropped like 136 pounds, and he still looks like Jelly Roll. Like he still looks hefty. So Lizzo's before and after, I gotta think she lost at least that.
Sure.
I mean, 100 and something.
Which
No numbers
kind of reminds me is Bert Kreischer's a big guy, but he's weirdly athletic for a big guy.
Yeah, he runs ultra marathons.
So how much calories does that man intake to maintain that weight and still be athletic?
Well, it's that he still actively loves booze.
Oh yeah, I know he drinks like a fish.
Right.
Yeah.
But he's constantly eating meats and stuff. It's usually protein and stuff, but yeah, he's just built like a bear.
Yeah. Yes.
Bear Crusher. It is weird though, because like he doesn't like live a healthy lifestyle by any stretch of the imagination outside of just being athletic. So I guess if you took the athletics out of it, holy moly.
Oh yeah,
we'd have a Jelly Roll. We'd have another Jelly Roll.
You'd have
Honey Bun?
No.
He'd start calling himself Honey Bun.
Ralphie May.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was trying to remember. Ralphie May. That's what it is. I'm actually waiting for a phone call. We got a pretty cool interview coming up here. Mark Richards with My Ashley Foundation is going to be joining us on the phone, and with him will be guest actor and best-selling author Kevin Sorbo, and they are going to. They've partnered with the Lions in Artesia, the Downtown Lions, and they're having a golf tournament and banquet the April 4th, 5th, and 6th weekend. And on Friday night, the 4th, they're going to have a banquet, and Kevin will be guest speaking at that banquet. So we'll be joined by Mark, who started, him and his wife started My Ashley Foundation, and we'll learn more about that. I don't know the whole story. I know he lost his daughter, and this is a kind of to help healing and things like that for them, but for other people. It's
Absolutely.
a really great organization. So we'll learn about that. We'll talk to Kevin, probably talk a little movies and golf and all that with Kevin. And then talk about the event here on the 4th, and of course the golf tournament that whole weekend there. So I am waiting just for a phone call, which should happen here pretty quick. And so at that moment, I'm gonna be like, all right, we're going to break. But till then, I'm filling time. So that's kind of the deal. But we'll do that here in a minute. Any Kevin Sorbo questions you want me to ask?
No, I mean, honestly, if I would approach this interview a little differently, because when I was like right as a child, it was the height of the Hercules series. You know, it was every Saturday morning. The Bugs Bunny and Tweety show would wrap up, and then American Gladiators would come on. That was the buffer between the cartoons and the young adult stuff, and then Hercules and Xena Warrior Princess in that order.
Right.
And it was all that was how our Saturdays were structured. Although by that point, I was usually outside playing. I do remember watching many episodes of Hercules though, and his. I mean, I was always impressed with his performance. I would be curious to see what his experience has been like on the God's Not Dead series of movies. To see, because I mean,
well, he's done a bunch.
There's I think four of them now.
If you look at his IMDb page, and most of his movies are in that vein now at this point. He's already got like 3 or 4 projects for 2025. He's got a bunch he's a busy man in the acting world. One of the bigger movies he was in more recently, a smaller part, was the Reagan movie.
Oh, that's right, he was.
But he's on like if you look at his IMDb, he's like, think of pretty much many TV shows that were big in the 90s and 2000s, and he's probably got a guest appearance on one of them in some way, shape, or form, from 2.5 Men to everything. He's got, Kevin Sorbo's in everything.
Let's pull his filmography up here.
He's been a busy actor for many years.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
It's not letting me look at IMDb because I have to. I don't have a membership apparently.
I
typed in filmography and it wouldn't let me look. Now it's letting me. Okay. Let There Be Light, The Santa Suit, Andromeda. These are recent projects.
Andromeda he was in like 100 episodes of that. Yeah, almost as many as Hercules.
The Pastor, Cuisine de l'Apocalypse, God's Here, Steal the Naughty List of Christmas. He's done several Christmas movies. I'm going to go back earlier stuff.
Well, he plays a character. I don't know if those are Hallmark movies, but he plays a character in it. Because if you notice a couple of those movies, they're all the same role.
I never finished after the first couple of Left Behind movies, and then they rebooted it with Nicolas Cage. I kind of fell off the Left Behind movies, but apparently he was playing the part of Rayford in the continuation of the Left Behind series.
Okay. The only one of those I've seen was the original with kid from Growing Pains.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name.
Yeah, just Kirk Cameron. And but yeah, they've rebooted that series a few times. I finished the book series, but yeah, he's playing the main character Rayford in the continuation of those. That's a great line of questioning because I loved the Left Behind series. That was among my favorite. But yeah, going back to 2016, it looks like he's been doing a lot of religious movies since in the 2010s.
Sure.
Mythica. Let's see.
Yeah, did you see the Reagan credit on there?
Yeah, that was way up there. Joseph and Mary, he was in.
But did you get in the other, like in the 2000? Look at how many TV shows he was like a one episode he was a guest appearance on or whatever. He plays characters.
Yeah, I'm trying to get down to the IMDb lists so much stuff. He is a very busy man.
I will say he's got a ton of work. He's been busy.
He stays paid. He was the voice. He was Hercules in God of War 3, the video game.
Nice.
Which is pretty funny. He reprised his Hercules role. Yeah, 2.5 Men. He was Andy for one episode. Walking Tall, The Payback, Love Incorporated, Hope and Faith. Ooh, that was a good one. I love that show. According to Jim, Dharma and Greg. And see, now we're getting into Xena Warrior Princess, Just Shoot Me.
I forgot about that show, Just Shoot Me.
Oh, I didn't. I love that show.
Yeah.
That was like one of my favorite shows as a young adult.
Yeah.
But yeah, then the whole Hercules series, Murder, She Wrote. He was in for an episode.
I think if you were an actor in the 90s, you ended up in an episode of Murder, She Wrote at some point.
Murder, She Wrote, Law and Order. You just
80s and 70s was Columbo.
Yeah. Just pop into an episode. Cheers, he was on. For what? One episode? He was a bar patron.
Nice. That must have been young in his career because
Yeah.
Cheers was early. Wouldn't that wrap up mid-'80s?
Let's see. Cheers. 82 to 93.
Oh, did it go that 90s?
He was in an episode in 92.
I didn't know it went to the 90s. Man, I thought it wrapped up in the 80s. Shoot. My timeline's all askew.
See, anything else that's notable? I know we're just killing time here. And now we're back to 2016. It's weird to hop back to 2016. But yeah, he's a prolific actor. He's out there.
He's got a lot. So we're waiting on that phone call right now. It is 8:20. Let's go ahead and we'll do a weather update, and maybe he'll chit chat. He'll call in while we're doing that. So it's 8:20. Here is your windy weather. Enjoy, or not. I wouldn't.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're getting some return flow around that low pressure system up in the central plains, and that'll kick the wind up to about 50 or 55 miles an hour today. Watch out for some areas of blowing dust. We'll have partly sunny skies this morning, sunshine this afternoon, and we're in the upper 60s to about 70. Overnight will be clear. The wind will calm down a little bit. Our lows in the low 30s, sunny and mid-60s Wednesday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 51 degrees and blowing dust and windy out there. Humidity is at 31%. Winds are currently out of the northwest at 31, gusting to 60 miles per hour. We are in a high wind warning through 5 p.m. this evening. Also a red flag warning through 6 p.m. this evening. Expect widespread blowing dust this morning through this afternoon. Sunny between the dust with a high of 67 today. Winds will be out of the northwest 30 to 35, gusting as high as 50 miles per hour today. It's going to be a rough one. Pay attention to the news. Be careful if you've got to travel today. nmroads.com. Download that app or go on the website and check things out, because I'm anticipating we'll see some more closures and issues like we did yesterday. Tonight, mostly clear with an overnight low of 32. Winds will be out of the northwest, 15 to 20 miles per hour. Those winds will drop down 5 to 10 after midnight. Wednesday, sunny skies. Expect a high of 68 degrees. East winds 5 to 10. Shifting to the south and increasing 10 to 15 tomorrow afternoon. So kind of tomorrow's our little eye in the hurricane kind of deal. Wednesday night, cloudy, overnight low of 40. And then winds out of the south 5 to 15. And then Thursday, the winds pick back up. The temps do too. We're back up in the mid-70s, but more of the blowing dust and all that. Mostly cloudy, and high of 76 with winds out of the southwest 10 to 20 miles per hour. Early 20 to 30 in the afternoon, gusting as high as 40 miles per hour. More patchy blowing dust Thursday night. Partly cloudy, overnight low of 41. Friday, patchy blowing dust. Sunny, high of 68. And then Friday night, there's a 20% chance we could see some rain and or snow showers after 11 p.m. Partly cloudy with an overnight low of 35. 30% chance of rain and or snow showers early, then a slight chance of rain for the afternoon. Partly cloudy and a high of 54. Then Sunday, sunny skies, 67. And then Monday, sunny and 74. So quite the gamut of weather here over the next couple days. All right, 8:23. I have not heard back. I'm still waiting on that phone call. So let's do this. Let's pause. We'll take a quick commercial break, and then we'll chit-chat some more if he's not joining us there. So let's do this. Quick break. We'll be back on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
This is the time of year we can get all 4 seasons in just one day. Hi, this is Ben Manette from Roswell Seed Company. 1 minute you're sweating in the sun, and the next minute you've got slush in your shoes. But that's winter in Roswell, and after 127 years, we're starting to get used to it. It's too early to plant very much, but you can fertilize pecan trees, spray for dandelions, order your bees, and pick up a new seed catalog. So come see us at Roswell Seed. Like Jim Gill would say, enjoy the warm days, but don't go far from the fire.
In a medical emergency, every second counts. Artesia General Hospital's emergency department is open 24/7, staffed with highly trained professionals ready to provide life-saving care when you need it most. Don't wait. When minutes matter, trust Artesia General Hospital. Quality emergency care close to home. Learn more at artesiageneral.com.
Springtime is coming quickly, and that means it's time for the spring open house for high school students and their parents at Eastern New Mexico University. Join us Saturday, March 22nd, as we welcome potential students and their family members to campus. ENMU will feature campus tours, opportunities to meet with current students and professors, information on scholarships, and chances to win great prizes. Sign up today at enmu.edu/open house. Eastern New Mexico University. Student success. That's what we're about.
Have you experienced the Valley Cafe yet? It's much more than lunch or dinner. It's an experience. Chef Anthony Noble is a nominated Chef of the Year and manager with a 4.9 out of 5 kitchen cleanliness rating and a 4.8 out of 5 most love rating. It's time for you to experience the difference that so many others already have at the Valley Cafe. Visit for lunch or dinner at 801 West Brasher, the Orange Building across from Church on the Move in Roswell. And save the Valley Cafe in your contacts. 575-755-EATS. 575-755-3287. Don't forget, we can cater your event too, and a portion of our proceeds go to the Dream Center in Roswell.
Did you know almost 75% of the time we're replacing a roof, something totally weird or unexpected or bizarre happens? Jennifer here again from Trustmark Roofing, and I want you to know that we are always prepared for the unexpected. That's why we always have project superintendent on site at your home at all times to handle those weird, bizarre things as they pop up. Things like an unexpected layer of wood shake shingles under your shingles or rotted out decking boards, problems with flashing or ridges, or missing supplies that somebody needs to chase down. These are the kinds of problems that normally grind the crews from other roofing companies to a halt and delay the project. But not with our super awesome superintendent there. He's equipped to handle any problem and keep the project moving along smoothly. Just one more way we do things better at Trustmark Roofing. If you have any roofing needs, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first. Experience the magic of Ireland at the Spencer Theatre for the Performing Arts. On Saturday, March 22nd at 7 p.m., enjoy Emerald Isle, a captivating performance featuring 20 singers and dancers from Ireland, performing traditional tunes and reimagined classics that span the vibrant traditions, mythical stories, and ancient sites of the Emerald Isle. Get your tickets by visiting spencertheatre.com or by calling the box office at 575-336-4800. We'll see you at the Spencer.
Do you want to improve the appearance of your smile or increase your self-esteem and confidence? Many people have already chosen to update their smile with veneers. Here at Carabelli Dental in Roswell, we work with our patients to understand their smile goals. With veneer treatment, we can eliminate gaps between teeth, solve the problems of stained teeth, and even perfect uneven or misshaped teeth. You owe it to yourself to have the smile you know is possible. Call us now.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental or call 575-622-4455.
Get ready, Artesia. The main event car show and cruise is rolling into town Friday, March 28th and Saturday, March 29th, 2025. Friday night, we're kicking things off at 6 p.m. with the Main Street Cruise. Watch as classic cars, hot rods, and muscle cars take over Main Street, cruising by the decade. It's a moving history lesson with a whole lot more horsepower. Then Saturday from 9 to 3, downtown Artesia transforms into the ultimate car lover's paradise. Cars, trucks, motorcycles, bikes, even tractors. It's free family fun with music, friendly competition, and more. Want in on the action? Register your ride at artesiachamber.com or stop by 107 North 1st Street in Artesia. The main event car show and cruise, March 28th and 29th in downtown Artesia. Brought to you by the Artesia Car Enthusiasts, Artesia Chamber, and Artesia Main Street. Paid for by Artesia Logitech.
Attention Goddard Rocket fans. When you have a history of greatness, the real challenge starts after the finish line. When victory alone isn't enough, raise your bar, keep dreaming, and go beyond the limits that you thought possible. The new 2024 Honda Ridgeline Passport and Pilot, part of the Roswell Honda Rugged Trail Sport lineup. Roswell Honda, proud supporter of all Goddard High School sports.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The first toilet being flushed in a motion picture was in the movie Psycho. Mike thought it was Gone with the Wind. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 29 minutes after 8 o'clock. Still waiting on a phone call. So we're going to give it a few before we call it a day on that one.
Yeah.
But
I stumbled across a story I thought was pretty interesting. The second annual Florida Man Games went down in St. Augustine, Florida over the weekend.
yeah, that sounds like a good thing for increasing healthcare costs.
Absolutely. Now, they did bring back a few popular events from the first annual.
Oh, good.
Which include, and this is why I wanted to bring this up.
Let's hear what some of these
The
are.
evading arrest obstacle course. Here's what you do. You escape from handcuffs, throw an alligator through a drive-through window,
Okay.
and steal a catalytic converter, all while being chased by actual cops.
Nice.
Sounds like a good use of our police force. The weaponized pool noodle mud duel. It's just like the joust from American Gladiators, but in a baby pool. The
Okay.
jousting poles are made up of pool noodles and duct tape. Then there's the Florida sumo cage match and beer chug.
Okay.
You wear an inner tube and fight someone while holding a pitcher of beer and trying not to spill it. The loser can still get points by chugging the winner's remaining beer.
Okay.
And this year they added Hurricane Party Prep Grocery Aisle Brawl. It's like medieval jousting, but in shopping carts. And if nobody falls, you just fight it out for hurricane supplies. And then Human Beer Pong. You're in a big inflatable bubble, and you have to get past someone and then jump in a pool that looks like a red Solo cup.
Nice.
The loser has to chug beer, whiskey, or bong water.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, but if you missed out this year, don't worry. They're going to do it again next year, too.
Oh, well, good.
Isn't that great? It's good use of our time and money.
Of all of you just told me, my first question, is Florida a recreational cannabis state?
No, they're not.
So they really get the bong water from?
They are not. It actually mentions that at the end of the story, too.
I was like, where are they getting the bong
It
water from?
said, weed isn't legal in Florida, so we're guessing that's part's a joke.
Wink, wink, why not? I would love to see last year's competitors.
Mm-hmm.
And I would also love to see like the winner of the Florida Man Games.
Right.
Does he come back to
I feel like
defend the
to
title?
defend his crown, yeah. I feel like you have to.
Is that, and do they televise this anywhere?
They don't. To my knowledge, they don't. I imagine that they probably will in the very near future. If they can land a broadcast deal. But yeah, no, it's definitely interesting and entertaining. I would like to talk to the first year's competitors just to see what it's like to know that they were the pioneers
Right.
of what could
The founding fathers,
the
if you
founding
will.
fathers of what could be a multi-year competition. You know about the I don't know what they call it, the Ultra Olympics, the steroid games that they're putting on.
Oh, lovely.
This is, I think, an Australian
So they
thing.
just get people roided up. And
They basically said they want to put the best and brightest athletes, both assisted and non-assisted, to battle in
The
different
juiced
sports.
games.
Yeah, I think that's actually what it was called, like the Juiced Olympics or something like that.
Sponsored by the movie No Pain, No Gain, starring The Rock.
It's literally a stand-up bit though from Daniel Tosh.
And Mark Wahlberg.
He's like, I want my athletes to take steroids. I mean, I have HD TV. I want them to run faster, jump higher. Let's see what this 4K is all about.
Cares if they're dead in a year.
Ultra high def.
Oh, and the other part too, fellas.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking about the steroids is a good thing.
They
think about your other brain and how important it is.
Mm-hmm. Shrinkage happens.
Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of TV stuff, changing gears.
Yeah.
So my familia, my wife, my in-laws, and I guess I did too and didn't realize it, had signed up for the lottery for more banana ball.
Oh.
And so they got the email Friday or Saturday this weekend.
Uh-huh.
I got one saying you're out, bud. But my
Aw.
wife got one and my father-in-law got one that gives them first priority to the next banana ball thing. But here's the thing, and they're in, and we're gonna get some seats and stuff, but because we had 2 people that got opportunities to get tickets, so we're gonna try to get 10. Anyway,
Is it at the actual?
It's in Albuquerque. It's it's at Atop Park. Like I think it's in May this time.
Okay.
But here's the deal, which I didn't realize, but yet I'm still going to be intrigued. The Savannah Bananas are not going to be there.
What?
The Banana Ball has expanded.
Really?
They're going to be playing. The Party Animals will be there. The team that the Bananas played, because they're going to real competition. It's a real league. The games count. They're keeping standings. They're doing the game. Though they've got all this stuff, they're not predetermined games. They got to win on athletics. But that being said, it's a real league with a championship and everything. So the Bananas are just a team in the league. Now, the Party Animals, who they played when they were here last time, they're going to be here. There is a new team hailing from Texas.
Okay.
The Texas Tailgaters.
Huh.
So it's the Texas Tailgaters and the Party Animals.
Okay.
The Texas Tailgaters are the first team not to be based in Georgia.
Really? Okay.
And so they're going to be here playing the Party Animals in May. So it's going to be Banana Ball, but not the Bananas. It'll be the Texas Tailgaters and the Party Animals.
I'll tell you what this is. This is a testament to an amazing marketing team.
Yeah.
They took the star that was the Savannah Bananas, and they was starting to rise. And they saw it. They saw the nationwide, worldwide attention they were getting. And they said, we can capitalize on this, and we have to right now.
Yeah.
That's genius. That is an awesome move.
So I kind of did a cursory search and looked, and
how many teams in the league?
I'm not. I want to say there's like 6. I'm not sure because there's the Party Animals. I think there's a Firefighters team, the Bananas, the Texas team, and then there's 1 or 2 others I'm missing in there that they come into rotate. Usually they all play the Bananas. It was the rotation of the others. They all kind of have themes like the Party Animals. Like when they were here in Albuquerque. They all came out. They wear their black and pink, and it looks like a cross between West Side Story and the Warriors.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Weirdly, it does.
They come out in the part like neon and black and green. They come out in a big lowrider, and it's a big party thing, and they do all the same kind of stunts and tricks the Bananas.
That was my next question: are all of these teams going to be the same level of performers?
Yeah, this is all part of the deal, the dancing, the whole thing. Now, the Texas Tailgaters, because I looked, I was like, well, maybe I'll check out their gear, and they do have gear.
Okay.
They have a jersey. They have T-shirts, and I was like, and sweatshirts. The sweatshirt's kind of cool. I was like, I might get that sweatshirt, but
I'm curious about.
I'm not going to wear it in May because I'm not wearing a sweatshirt in Isotopes Park on a Saturday or a Friday in May.
And you think a team from Texas would know it's going to be hot.
Right.
For
but then they got T-shirts and stuff. But here's the thing too, is the uniform shirt you can buy. It's denim. I'm like, who's going to wear a denim uniform? That sounds god awful as a uniform to wear. I hope those guys' versions of the uniform aren't denim, because if they're wearing denim uniforms out on the baseball field.
Oh no, they got a 3/4 baseball tee. I'm looking.
Oh yeah, they do have a tee, but I'm not impressed with the tee.
Yeah, I like the logo.
I do.
It's very.
I didn't like it on the tee though. I like it on the sweatshirt.
So it's a cowboy. Looks like he's holding a. I can't see.
Well, it's a tailgater, so I'm going to guess it's some kind of.
Well, it's like a fork with like steak or something.
Yeah, he's partying, grilling and stuff.
Oh, and a beer in the other hand. Okay.
There you go. So yeah, the tailgaters. So nice. That's what we're, assuming we get our tickets here, we'll go check out. But yeah, it's so basically.
I do think denim is part of their logo because I'm looking at one of their hats and it's denim.
Yeah, and the uniform, the shirt was denim if you buy it, and I was like, oh gosh, that sounds awfully hot to be wearing a denim shirt.
Yeah, that doesn't sound fun. A jersey tuxedo to a Texas Tailgaters game.
Now I'm going to take a stab. There will be sleeveless for the players and stuff because they do a lot of they do go shirtless a lot. They're ladies. It's a bunch of 20-something dudes that are all ripped and in shape. So a lot of eye candy for you there.
There you go.
Bevy of eye candy.
Now I know why Mike's so excited.
And that's why I can't wait.
No, we all get our fill somehow, man. I'm going to a wrestling show in a month.
That's right. All right, it is 8:40. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and pause for news and all that. And then I think on the other side, I'm going to play my interview we had with John Hauser from E&MU talking about their event they've got at the Anderson on the 21st. So we'll play that here, and that's about a 10, 13-minute interview. So we'll play that here in a bit. That's coming up on the other side of news. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Now, for your Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Sorello. Thanks for joining us. A Roswell man has been convicted for murder and for shooting at or from an occupied vehicle, as well as 4 counts of child abuse. This case in connection to the shooting death of a woman in 2018.
True. At least it's warm today.
A jury convicted Raymond Anthony Lucero Jr. after a 4-day trial last week. Lucero's former girlfriend, Tess Haraghi, was killed when police said Lucero opened fire, firing multiple rounds into the woman's home in the 1200 block of West Hobbs Street in Roswell.
Here today.
Yeah, we got. We're dealing with the
Center
same deal.
is hosting art classes on Thursday mornings. The classes are put on by Artesia's own Junior Thurman.
Yes, sir. We're doing good up here.
You can always check out all of the Artesia Senior Center activities through their website or on their Facebook page. You're up to date. That's a look at local news headlines this hour. I'm Jared Sorello reporting.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Elephants use these skin folds on their bodies to crush mosquitoes. Mike Winters uses his to hide M&Ms. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:42, and as I had mentioned earlier there, I'm not hearing from Kevin there. We'll see. I got to watch. I'll call next hour because it's 9 o'clock their time or something like that. If it happens, then we'll figure it out. But anyway, cross wires or something. I'm not sure. But anyway, so what we're going to do right now is yesterday I had John Hauser join us from Eastern New Mexico University in Portales. And they have an event coming up here on the 21st in Roswell, a State of Eastern event, where the chancellor is going to come to the Anderson Museum here in Roswell. They're going to have an event, hors d'oeuvres, and kind of talking about what's new at Eastern. There are a lot of upgrades and renovations and things they've been doing out there. So they just kind of want to let the public know what they're happening and doing all that. So John joined us to talk about that interview. Jocelyn, are you ready to go on your end? I know I'm kind of throwing a little wrench on you here, so good, she's good. So, all right, here is our interview with John Hauser from Eastern New Mexico University here in Portales.
Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 14 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us on the phone this morning from Eastern Mexico University in Portales, John Hauser joining us today. Good morning, John. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir. We're doing good up here, just holding on to our hats with the wind that's supposed to come through here today.
Yeah, we got we're dealing with the same deal. We got the high wind warnings and watches and all that good stuff, red flag stuff. So yeah, we'll I guess if anything blows your way, we'll grab it for you, and vice versa if the wind's
Yeah. You know, we're used to it up here. We call March is windy season. So the old saying, March comes in like a lion and goes out like a lamb. We hope that holds true up here this time of year. So, but we're getting ready. They're saying 60-mile-an-hour winds today. So it's one of those fun windy days. At least it's going to be warm up here in Portales.
That's true. At least it's warm today. It's like living in a blow dryer or something.
Yeah, exactly.
But hopefully, well, fingers crossed, wind won't be a big issue. We'll be indoors, so it's not that big a deal. But on March 21st, we want to invite folks out. You guys are going to be hosting a kind of a State of Eastern event right here in Roswell on at the Anderson Museum on the 21st. Tell folks a little bit about this event and what's going to be happening.
Yeah, so this is the first time we've done this probably in a long time. As long as I've been here for 10 years, we haven't done an event like this. So what we're doing is we're coming down to the Anderson Museum with our chancellor, Dr. James Johnston, and he's going to speak on the State of Eastern, and he's the chancellor over all 3 campuses, so okay. He'll be giving information on all 3 campuses, meaning the Portales campus, the Roswell Community College there, and the Ruidoso Community College. So,
gotcha.
So if anyone is affiliated with any of those campuses, we want to invite you out because he's going to be giving updates on both, the successes we've had this past year, as well as where he sees Eastern going in the future here. So, and all the exciting stuff that's going on. I mean, in the past year, if you've been following us, our enrollment keeps growing. We're up 6.3% over last year, with over 5,700 students in attendance at the main campus up here in Portales. And we set an all-time record for graduate students enrolled at ENMU with almost 1,500 graduate students in attendance. So it's really an exciting time to be a student here, to work at Eastern. The growth is being seen all over campus. We're currently building a brand new student academic services building up here, which is the first new building we've had on campus since we built the football stadium 10 years ago. So it's really an exciting time to be a Greyhound here. And not only on the academic side, but on the athletic side, if people in Roswell pay attention to our basketball teams, we got both our men's and women's basketball team heading to the Lone Star Conference basketball championships here this week as well over in Frisco, Texas. So they both had, it's tough to get in. There's like 19 teams that compete for 8 spots.
Wow.
So us making the Lone Star Conference championship in basketball has been a heck of an accomplishment as well.
Nice. So, well, of course, and that's the great thing. You come to the meeting here on the 21st, learn more, and then from there you say, hey, let's set up a campus tour. Let's go and see what life is like at Eastern in Portales there. And this is where I love, and New Mexico got smart. Whatever it was, a half dozen, 10 years ago, with the college program and basically making every college credit seamlessly transferred from one university in New Mexico to another. So it almost makes sense. It's like, especially those requisite classes and credits that almost every degree plan needs. Why spend top dollar in the state when you can get it at Eastern, where it's very affordable? And then if your goal is to, you know what I mean? You could save a lot of money and get a quality education right here in your backyard. And the beauty of it with Eastern and Portales, especially for folks living in Roswell, it's far enough away where mom and dad just don't show up unannounced. But if you need to come home and do laundry and get home cooking, it's like an hour away, so or 2 hours away. No big deal.
Yeah. We're an hour and 15 minutes from Roswell there, so. We get a lot of Roswell and Goddard students up here. Our football teams recruit heavily into Roswell, Goddard, Artesia, places like that. And, like you were saying, is if you come out on Friday night, it includes a free dinner, too. So if you come out Friday night at 6, well, mom and dad who are Greyhound alums or fans of the Greyhounds can come out, hear our president speak, and then Saturday morning you can turn around and get up here and come to our open house high school preview day on the 22nd,
nice.
which allows high school students to see our campus.
Yeah.
So it's really a great campus up here. We are the state university for the eastern part of the state as well, and just the growth here has been incredible. I mean, like I said, with the new buildings, we've also had Steve Loy, who is a success story on his own, who's Phil Mickelson's golf agent. He donated a bunch of money, largest single donation we've ever had,
nice.
To go ahead and rename the football and basketball stadiums after his family foundation here. So we're growing there, too, as well. And, the big thing, too, is that the president wants to emphasize that, we're continuing to work on One Eastern, which is a vision to create system-wide access to all programs offered in seamless engagement from start to graduation. So a student can say, hey, I want to go to Roswell for 2 years, start working on my RN degree. They can get their RN degree at Roswell, and then they're like, hey, I want to get my BSN to advance my career. Well, they can come here 100% online, and if they're working there in Roswell at the hospital, and get their BSN degree here at Portales. So that's a great thing about, our campuses, the 3 campuses we have here. And that's why we want to invite everybody out to come out to the state of Eastern to hear the exciting updates that we have going on. And people can RSVP to enmu.edu/state-of-university. Made it nice and simple there, so it's just enmu.edu/state-of-university. And it's just an RSVP form, and it's free for people to come to. It's from 6 to 8 on the 21st at the Anderson Museum there. We're also going to be unveiling our new interactive alumni portal, too, so we're really trying to reach out to our alumni as well, because Roswell's one of our largest alumni bases there. And so we're going to be we're saying it's the first of its kind website there. We've actually named it after the old Silver Pack yearbook, so if anyone's listening and loves the gold silver packs. It's just enmu.edu/silverpack, and we're going to have a lot of stories, videos, ways that alumni can reconnect with the university.
Nice.
And it's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to showcase that off that night as well.
Very good. So please make plans to attend, whether you're your family's an alum and you've got a long history with Eastern, or you've got students that are going to be taking on their next phase in life and are exploring their options. Please come to this state of the university event here. Again, it's going to be on the 21st at the Anderson Museum of Contemporary Art right here in Roswell. And that's another, if you've never been to that museum and you need an excuse to go, make this that reason and go and get there a little early and tour the museum, because it's a beautiful facility. There's so much eclectic art in that place, and it's so I get there a little early if you've never been, and take a few minutes to tour it, and you'll be glad you did. So.
Yeah, we encourage anyone that's an alum, anyone that has students attending Eastern, or even if you're a parent and your high school students wants to look more at Eastern, come on out and hear the great things that we have going on. It'll be a fun night for everybody. We'll have dinner, and Dr. Johnston, our chancellor, will talk about the great accomplishments of the last year at Eastern, where he sees Eastern going in the future, and it's really going to be a great night.
Absolutely. So again, go to, I guess you could probably obviously go to Eastern New Mexico University's website, enmu.edu, and learn more there on the events there. I'm sure you could go to the Facebook and all the social medias and find links and everything for more information too.
Yes, sir. If you go to our Facebook page, we have information up there about this event as well. So I encourage everybody to come out. It'll be a great event, and we would love coming into Roswell to meet with our large alumni base down there. I have several former Roswell High School students that work for me now, so we're big there with Roswell and Goddard, and we love coming down there, and with the NMU and Roswell there as well. They're great partners with us, and we look forward to having everybody out on the 21st.
Excellent. Well, John, is there any other information or anything that we wanted to let folks know that we just skipped or didn't get a chance to talk about?
No, I think big thing is RSVP. It's on our Facebook page, or if you want to go to enmu.edu/State that's the short link to it. And then if people are interested in our open house as well, that's on our homepage at enmu.edu, and people can just visit there and click on our open house link and sign up if they'd like to bring their high school students up as well. And it's going to be a fun weekend between being down in Roswell and the next day up here in Port Tallis.
Absolutely, and potential, folks looking. Students to attend and things, I highly recommend check this out. Come to this event, and then the next day go and see the campus and see. And what I love when you guys do those events where it's kind of see the campus type days, you kind of you have the parent side where the parents get to go and ask all the questions that they're concerned about, but at the same time, the student usually has a different set of questions and a different set of things they're interested in. You get to go off and learn that side of it. So like usually students are more interested in what campus life is like, what activities are going on and things like that. I mean, obviously important about the curriculum, but they want to know what to do when the homework's done and the class is done, and you get to learn all that while the parents are saying, well, what's their class like? Is my kid going to have access to this and that? And parents get all those questions answered and all that good stuff. So it's a really great event. So I highly recommend come Friday, and then definitely head down Saturday and tour the campus and see what life at ENMU is exactly like. So.
Yeah, and that Saturday event, we give away a bunch of prizes, including like an Apple TV, Beats by Dre, $500 scholarships, and a bunch of ENMU swag stuff. So that's a fun event for students to come check out, where they can learn about campus life, like you said, and all the activities we have. And then for parents, it's important to come learn about our scholarships and the financial aid and how affordable we are, since we are the most affordable university in New Mexico. So it's a great opportunity for people to really advance their higher education without breaking the bank, as I like to say. And I'm proof of that. My wife's an Eastern alum, and she paid off her debt before she was 30, and I went to state school in Ohio, and I'm still paying my debt. So yeah, it's a difference here at Eastern.
Young folks, you don't realize that student debt thing. It is such, getting an education is so important, but when you have to spend your whole life paying for it, you know what I mean? It kind of cheap. It just doesn't, and that's why, wherever your end game is, Eastern New Mexico University can help you get there. Whether it's to start to finish or get you onto the stepping stone to the next thing, they can help you do it. That's absolutely true.
And that's a great thing about the whole system is if it's like, I don't want to go to a four-year university. Well, Roswell's there with like welding programs and aviation maintenance and stuff like that. And Ruidoso has specialized programs as well. So you can look at either of those campuses too for that 2-year, career and technical education degree. If you want to get the traditional bachelor's degree, that's what Eastern's here for as well, or a master's degree. And the great thing too is we're online. So we encourage everybody to come out, learn more about the university on the 21st there in Roswell with our president's event, or come up for open house if you got high school students on the 22nd.
Absolutely. John, thank you very much for spending a few minutes with us, and we'll see you here on the 21st.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate it.
All right. Take care. Thanks, John.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. That was John Hauser with Eastern New Mexico University in Portales. That big event, again, is at the Anderson Museum of Contemporary Art here on the 21st. 6 p.m. You can go on Eastern New Mexico University Portales' Facebook or their website, enmu.edu, RSVP, and get all that taken care of. All right, 8:28. Peggy Bolin, ready to talk some camp invention with us here. We're going to pause for news and weather, and then we'll talk with Peggy on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Friday, Roswell, as the 14th seed in Class 5A, they made it into the draw, and they'll play at number 3, Mayfield. Mayfield is 24-3 overall. Roswell, not a bad record, 14-13. These two teams played on January the 10th. Mayfield won in Roswell by 11 points. Meanwhile, Goddard slips into the tournament with a 13-14 record in Class 4A. They'll play at number 1, Kirtland Central. The Broncos are 25-3. That's Friday afternoon at 5. Dexter in Class 3A, 17-11 overall, will play at number 2, West Las Vegas. Friday at 6, don't hold out high hopes for the Demons. They lost 75-11 earlier to the same team. Gateway Christian at Cliff in Class 1A, Friday at 6. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM, 106.5.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're getting some return flow around that low pressure system up in the Central Plains, and that'll kick the wind up to about 50 or 55 miles an hour today. Watch out for some areas of blowing dust. We'll have partly sunny skies this morning, sunshine this afternoon, and we're in the upper 60s to about 70. Overnight will be clear. The wind will calm down a little bit. Our lows in the low 30s, sunny and mid-60s Wednesday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
All across America, this is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report.
I'm James Flippin. U.S. stocks finished lower yesterday, a big-time sell-off on Wall Street. It was a choppy session. At one point, the Dow was up almost 200 points and finished down 650 points. This is the first trading session of March. The sell-off connected to worries tied to tariffs and some economic data. Traders closely studying the potential impact of 25% tariffs coming on goods from Canada and Mexico, as well as those reciprocal tariffs coming early next month. NVIDIA, the chip maker and AI darling, sold off. That put pressure on the broader market, and this coming off what was a down February for the stock market. Economic data, the manufacturing sector showed some cause for concern as factory activity eased slightly in February. The Institute for Supply Management's monthly manufacturing index came in at 50.3, down 0.6 percentage points from January. The first ever White House Crypto Summit will be held Friday. The White House says the summit will host prominent crypto founders, CEOs, and investors. White House AI and crypto czar David Sachs will chair the summit, which will be run by Bo Hines, executive director of the President's Working Group on Digital Assets. With business, I'm James Flippin.
This is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report.
Hey, it's Joe Piscopo. Take your listening room to the next level with Verdant Audio. That's VERDANT Audio, helping build the perfect listening room in your home. With experts to help put together your dream sound system, Verdant Audio experts help you select the perfect gear with equipment you will not find anywhere else. No intimidation, just passionate people who love extraordinary sound. Transform your listening experience. Visit VerdantAudio.com. Explore their collection and book your consultation today.
Maybe your AC unit needs a little tender loving care. If you don't know where to turn, then you don't know Jack. In fact, they're downright funky. Let the boys at Fergie's Plumbing and Heating get your AC unit ice cold, just like some of my lady friends. Don't let any fool make you lose your cool. Fergie's Plumbing and Heating. If you don't know Fergie, then you don't know Jack. 632-2660.
Your home for Armed American Radio is 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. President Trump has made good on his pledge to impose new tariffs on America's three largest trading partners.
The president followed through on his threatened tariffs, slapping 25% levies on goods from Canada and Mexico, plus an additional 10% on Chinese imports. He's convinced that tariffs are the answer to America's fiscal problems. But some economists predict higher inflation, and news of the tariffs sent stocks tumbling yesterday. On Capitol Hill, Democrats slammed the president's plan, while some uneasy Republicans are worried about the possible economic fallout. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Now in effect, a pause in U.S. military aid to Ukraine as ordered by President Trump. Measles has sickened nearly 150 mostly unvaccinated people in rural West Texas, and a school-aged child has died. There are also cases in New Mexico where parent Macy Lane says that when all is said and done, she's glad her kids have been vaccinated.
We don't normally do like flu vaccines or anything, but like the tetanus, the DTaP shots, or the measles and the mumps, and we did those vaccines. We don't normally do like flu vaccines. We kind of are fight it out people, but for major scenarios like this, it makes me very thankful that we did vaccinate and kind of one less worry as a parent.
Pediatrician Dr. Tammy Camp says the measles vaccine is highly effective, but typically it's not administered until a child is a year old. She says that has many parents of very young children very worried. Linda McMahon confirmed by the Senate to lead the Department of Education. That's an agency that President Trump wants to abolish. Wall Street fears a potential tariff war. As a result, there's a sell-off underway this morning. The Dow is down 761 points, a loss of almost 2%. The Nasdaq off 271. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
The number 2 opens up on the Oval Office incident.
Vice President J.D. Vance says he was trying to defuse the situation during last Friday's meeting with Ukrainian President Zelensky. In an interview with Fox News, Vance said President Trump was trying to be gracious and diplomatic. And things went off the rails when Vance answered Zelensky, and then the Ukrainian president came at him. The vice president says when things really started to heat up, he pushed to take the discussion behind closed doors. But President Trump wanted wanted the American people to see Zelensky for what he was. Vance indicated there was a lack of respect and sense of entitlement from Zelensky. Tasha Stevens reporting.
Australian James Harrison, credited with saving 2.4 million babies through blood plasma donations over 6 decades, has died at 88. Harrison's plasma contained an antibody that helped protect the unborn and newborns from a rare disease. News and analysis at townhall.com. Ben Franklin may be losing his place on the Benjamin.
Congressman Brandon Gill of Texas said that he plans to introduce a bill to feature President Trump's likeness on the $100 bill once his current term concludes. Gill said in an interview, quote, President Trump could be enjoying his golden years and spending time with his family. Instead, he took a bullet for this country and is now working overtime to secure our border, fix our uneven trade relationship with the rest of the world, make American energy independent again, and put America first by ending useless foreign aid. Gill said replacing Benjamin Franklin with Trump on the $100 bill, quote, is a small way to honor all he will accomplish these next 4 years. Bernie Bennett reporting.
For a second time, the Associated Press asking a federal judge to immediately restore its access to presidential events. In an amended lawsuit filed late yesterday, the AP says the White House has doubled down on retaliating against the outlet for its refusal to recognize President Trump's renaming of the Gulf of Mexico. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The Travelician, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Tres Infiernos.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy windy Tuesday.
Yes.
Get your sail. And
so much more apropos if it was Wednesday.
I think you can just grab a bed sheet and just go outside, and you don't need to take your car to wherever you got to go. Just do that.
Yeah, just
big sheet.
Sail on out. Sail on, sailor.
That's right.
Oh, I do have to say, now that I'm officially legal, I can say, I am officially my vehicle is registered.
That's right.
Now, the reason this is significant, for those who don't know, and I really haven't ever talked about this, my tags expired in 2021.
Yeah, he's
I mean, if nothing else, it was a good run. It was a good run.
Well, see, but think of the burden lifted.
And that's true. I'm not constant. I can actually look forward when I drive. I'm not constantly looking behind me. But just the story is almost worth it. Like the felony that I was committing, but it's almost worth it.
Yeah.
I'm legal now, so I can talk about it. But yeah, no, quick and easy process.
Well, congratulations.
Turns out. Yep. So
congratulations.
Back on the road again. She goes, has it been broken down? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just got it back up and running, and turns out got pulled over. Darndest thing.
Right.
Shucks.
So, well, congratulations. So.
I hope those people aren't listening right now. By the way, shout out to MVD Express.
He's like, and to those out there, my name is Tanner Todd.
I will say,
sorry, Tanner.
I will say, I did at the time think, well, she's not really my demo in the demographic of this show, so I think we're safe.
Okay, well, you never know.
That's true.
You never know. Programming note.
Yes.
I talked with Mark here during the interview there. And Kevin and Mark are going to call in here in about 9:15 to talk about a big event happening in Artesia here. Mark is with an organization he created called My Ashley Foundation. And, of course, Kevin Sorbo will be guest speaking at they're doing a golf tournament and banquet, and the banquet that Friday night. Nice. Kevin will be the guest speaker.
Nice.
So we'll chit-chat with Mark and Kevin here and talk about the event, talk a little bit about the organization and all that here in just a few.
It would have happened last hour, but Mark lost track of Kevin Sorbo. He actually snuck off and made another movie while we were waiting.
He's like, I worked out 6 more projects.
That's right. just pop out a series and working on an album right now.
While you checked your text, I produced 7 movies.
I mean, man definitely knows what to do with his hands. He is prolific.
Yes. But while you're in the can.
Wasting time in the bathroom. Put out a whole documentary.
Can time is time well spent. All right, it is closing on 10 minutes after 9 o'clock. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on le weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're getting some return flow around that low pressure system up in the central plains, and that'll kick the wind up to about 50 or 55 miles an hour today. Watch out for some areas of blowing dust. We'll have partly sunny skies this morning, sunshine this afternoon, and we're in the upper 60s to about 70. Overnight will be clear. The wind will calm down a little bit. Our lows in the low 30s, sunny and mid 60s Wednesday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 57 degrees and dust a-blowing here in Roswell. Humidity is at 26%. I guess they done broke the wind machine at the airport because it says it's not available at the moment. So I guess it got blown over. That's going to be my guess. We do have a high wind warning in effect through 5 p.m. this evening, a red flag warning in effect through 6 p.m. this evening. More of this widespread blowing dust through the afternoon here. Sunny and 67. Winds will be blowing out of the northwest, 30 to 35, gusting as high as 50 miles per hour. Clear tonight with an overnight low of 32 degrees. Northwest winds 15 to 20. Those winds will drop down 5 to 10 after midnight tonight. Wednesday, calm between the storms. Sunny and 68 tomorrow. East winds 5 to 10 early. Shifting to the south, picking up 10 to 15 for the afternoon. But that's not bad. Wednesday night, cloudy with an overnight low of 40. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, back into the dust. Patchy blowing dust, mostly cloudy with a high of 76. So it will be a little warmer. Winds will be up out of the southwest, 10 to 20 early. Later in the day, increasing 20 to 30, gusting as high as 40 miles per hour. Patchy blowing dust for Thursday night as well. Partly cloudy, overnight low of 41. A little bit more of that dust Friday. Sunny and 68 for a high. Friday night, we're looking at a slight chance, a 20% chance of rain or some snow showers after 11. Partly cloudy, overnight low of 35. A 30% chance of some rain and or snow showers before 11 Saturday. Then some chance of rain, 30% chance of rain for the afternoon. Partly cloudy and high of 54, so a little cold on Saturday. And then Sunday, sunny skies back up into the upper 60s, 67 for a high. And then when you head back to work and school and all that next week, back up into the mid-70s. So they don't talk about wind then, hopefully not as much of it, but it is the season of March and wind. So what are you going to do? That's just what happens. All right, it is 13 minutes after 9 o'clock. Let's go ahead and take a commercial break here. Like I said, Mark and Kevin Sorbo should be calling in here about 9:15. So on the other side of our commercial break, should have those folks on the phone. So don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Are you ready to succeed? Earn your FFA certification through ENMU Roswell's Aviation Maintenance Technology Program. ENMU Roswell has the only FFA Part 147 airframe and power plant school in Southeast New Mexico. Receive commercial and general aviation training, hands-on training with operation aircraft, Boeing commercial experience, advanced composite repair training, and more. And ENMU Roswell offers in-state tuition for veterans too. Learn more about this exciting program on campus or online at roswell.enmu.edu. Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell. Success starts here.
This is the time of year we can get all 4 seasons in just one day. Hi, this is Ben Manette from Roswell Seed Company. 1 minute you're sweating in the sun, the next minute you've got slush in your shoes. But that's winter in Roswell, and after 127 years, we're starting to get used to it. It's too early to plant very much, but you can fertilize pecan trees, spray for dandelions, order your bees, and pick up a new seed catalog. So come see us at Roswell Seed. Like Jim Gill would say, enjoy the warm days, but don't go far from the fire.
Did you know almost 75% of the time we're replacing a roof, something totally weird or unexpected or bizarre happens? Jennifer here again from Trustmark Roofing, and I want you to know that we are always prepared for the unexpected. That's why we always have project superintendent on site at your home at all times to handle those weird, bizarre things as they pop up. Things like an unexpected layer of wood shake shingles under your shingles or rotted out decking boards, problems with flashing or ridges, or missing supplies that somebody needs to chase down. These are the kinds of problems that normally grind the crews from other roofing companies to a halt and delay the project. But not with our super awesome superintendent there. He's equipped to handle any problem and keep the project moving along smoothly. Just one more way we do things better at Trustmark Roofing. If you have any roofing needs, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first. Get ready to boogie at the Spencer Theater for the Performing Arts. On Saturday, March 15th at 7 p.m., experience When Disco Was King, featuring the Kings of Disco, all former members of the world-famous Village People. Dance the night away to hits from legends like the Bee Gees, Donna Summer, and Earth, Wind & Fire. Get your tickets today by visiting spencertheater.com or by calling the box office at 575-336-4800. We'll see you at the Spencer.
Innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward & Son Insurance Agency. Auto and home, life and health, personal and commercial. Bonds too, since 1925. We have the coverage for you. Innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward & Son Insurance Agency.
Are you ready to succeed? The School of Arts and Sciences at ENMU Roswell covers a broad curriculum. The certificates and degrees offered within these programs will prepare students to realize personal, professional, and occupational objectives, from ag science and agricultural technology to behavioral science, biology, bookkeeping and accounting, business administration, criminal justice, education, and mathematics. ENMU Roswell can set you up for success. Register now on campus or online at roswell.enmu.edu. Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell. Success starts here.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. U-Haul is the world's largest advertiser in the Yellow Pages. Too bad millennials don't know what the Yellow Pages are. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 16 minutes after 9 o'clock. And joining us on the phone this morning from the organization My Ashley Foundation, we have Mark Richards. And also joining us on the phone, actor, best-selling author, and all-around good guy, Kevin Sorbo. Good morning, gentlemen. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I mean, great. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Excellent.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much for spending a few minutes here with us. Before we kind of get into everything, they're coming up here April 4th, 5th, and 6th. My Ashley Foundation is partnered with the Artesia Downtown Lions, and they're hosting a big golf scramble. But the 3-day weekend event's going to kick off with a banquet that Friday night, the 4th, and of course Kevin will be guest speaker for the event that evening. So I before we kind of talk about that and kind of hang out and talk with Kevin here a little bit, Mark, I kind of want to give you a chance to explain what this organization, My Ashley Foundation, obviously, for folks who don't know, this is personal to you. This was started by you, but give folks a little bit of background about the organization and what you do.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. Yeah, so our foundation was founded back on October 11th, 2009, when our daughter Ashley was killed by a drunk driver on I-27 outside Lubbock, Texas. And so Ashley was she lived at home still on a full ride volleyball scholarship, and just an amazing young woman, loved God, and just had this this amazing outlook of life, and so whenever we lost her, that just is just tragic, but we forgave the guy that killed her, and unfortunately he's repeated again and is back in prison again, and so that's unfortunate just because we're gonna keep doing what we feel that is right in the eyes of God, and just bringing hope and showing grace to those that need it, and leading them to a relationship with Jesus. And so that's what our foundation is all about. We have a grief care ministry that is close to Lorraine and I's heart, and we have addiction prevention that's close to us as well. And then, of course, our Jesus is Enough that was founded by our daughter Cassandra, our oldest daughter Cassandra, and son-in-law Micah, that used that platform to gain testimonies for people that have been through something, and that Jesus has been there for them. So our ministry is just a community outreach ministry, and we like to do things like this, bring people in like Kevin and Sam that just have an amazing testimony themselves, they're just such a blessing to us that they're coming down here. So to come to our little town in Artesia, we don't get this a whole lot. So we're just grateful that they have agreed to come down here and be a part of this with us.
Well, first off, so sorry for the tragedy that you and your family have gone through, but at the same time, it is so refreshing, or just to see that what you've done with that platform and taken, it's like, hey, and first off, when you said something, about your own personal story there about we forgave him, and that to me, that is one of the hardest things we as human can do. But if you can do it, I think it's truly more for yourself sometimes than it is for the other person, And so I think,
sorry.
First off, thank you for doing what you and your family are doing. This is something that now it's to put a positive spin on it, but at the same time, I'm going to take a stab that it's a constant reminder of your own family as well too. So I imagine this is
Absolutely
good, but also hard for you as well. So we thank you for what you're doing.
Right. So, grief is a journey. Grief is a journey, and it's full of twists and turns. But every morning you just get up and just face the grief, and continue the cycle through grief. Obviously with forgiveness being the number one thing.
Sure.
So,
now, Kevin,
thank you for those words.
Yeah, well, it's not much for my end. Kevin, I don't mean to ignore you. I'm sorry. You're but I did want folks to know his story. So, Kevin, let me ask you, how did you come upon Mark? How did you find out about this organization, and how did you how did you end up here at this event?
Well, I think Mark just reached out to my speaker. I have a speaker agent, that finds me a lot of places to go and speak, and hopefully they want to hear my testimony as well. And I do a lot of pro-life speaking events. I do Christian education. I do motivational. I do a variety of things. And,
sure.
To have something like this, happen to Mark and his family. Everybody's got a story. They really do. And they were able to take their story, something that was as horrible as this, and at least turn it into something positive, turn it into something that brings, far greater awareness to other people, that there are people out there like Mark and his wife that fight back and say, hey, this is the road that we were given, and this is the road that we have found a way to find a positive and more, empathetic path to really let people know that there are people out there that care about you, people out there that are going to be there and help you whenever that is needed. So it's amazing what they've done, and it's amazing to be part of this.
Absolutely. And it's something that I always believe in this is as a person of faith, and that's and this is where life's going to hand tragedies. We're all going to be dealing with tragedies. Life is not easy. If life was easy, then we'd all be, we wouldn't need God. It was, it's that the faith is where, and that's where. Like I know with your family and Kevin, your experiences, the faith is, y'all wouldn't be where you're at without it, and And I know, and so that's where I think weekends like this, where you're going to whack the ball around and have some fun, but the message and the stories and the conversations that are going to be had during that weekend, that's going to be the real healing, the real message, the real point of the weekend, I think.
Well, no question. Look, God and Jesus never promised any of us, an easy life.
Yeah.
They said you're going to have hardships just like Jesus did. So God's not there to prevent bad things from happening, but he's certainly there to help you get through them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Amen. Yeah, that's right.
Kevin, I kind of want to ask you a few career questions, if you don't mind, about but sure. Just with because as you, like you said, you speak and you talk to folks and things, and I know in a lot of conversations, you talk about your career and how you make movies and things that you want your children to be proud of. So I'm kind of curious, like, as you started in your career versus where you're at today, how is like your just journey of growing and evolving as a human made that process change from, like, say, like when you're obviously when you start acting, you're trying to get a job, you don't care, you're pretty willing, but as you get you get better in your craft, you get more well known, you build up a resume, you get to kind of choose your directions and things. So I'm kind of curious, what how was that like, and how much did your life evolving just picking what you pick and choose to do, and what how you what things you choose to act in and all that? I'm just curious how that process works for you.
Well, I mean, obviously, a show like Hercules becoming as huge as it did in 176 countries around the world. We actually became the most watched TV show in the world by season 3. That opened a lot of doors for me. And I got to say, I noticed pretty quickly, so though a mythological show, Hercules had a lot of good moral values in it. And I think today, they probably wouldn't write it that way.
Sure.
But back in the 90s, they did write it that way.
Sure.
But it was really 2010 for me was sort of a pivotal point in terms of the movies that I wanted to do when I did a movie with Dallas Jenkins. Dallas Jenkins, of course, is now doing The Chosen, which is just doing gangbusters around the world. But he brought me my first really unapologetically faith-based movie called What If? And after finishing that movie, I just realized this is the kind of movies I want to keep doing. And What If? I've done over 90 movies, and I got What If in my top 3 favorite movies of all time.
Sure.
And ironically, I was just in Dallas last week, where Dallas lives and where they filmed The Chosen. He and myself and John Ratzenberger and Chrissy Swanson are in that movie. We've had such a resurgence of people streaming What If or getting the DVD that the studio decided to reissue it in the theaters this August. So we went to the studios there at TBN outside of Fort Worth.
Sure.
And do a bunch of sort of round table talking about the 15th anniversary of that movie. So that really opened the door for me to say, I'm going to do more movies like this. And I got booted out of Hollywood about 12 years ago. I'm the original cancel culture victim before it became a term. I'm the first guy to get booted out of Hollywood for being a Christian and a conservative. Which,
sure.
Unfortunately, too many, the gays used to be in the closet in Hollywood. So now the Christian conservatives in the Hollywood, but I'm clearly out of the closet. So I'm fighting the good battle. I feel like I need to wear a T-shirt that says Hollywood loves me on it, but they don't love me. So they hate the things that I'm doing because I do movies that they used to do.
Yeah.
They don't do those anymore.
And the sad part is, like, if you look at like just the history of Hollywood and everything, it's been like that since day one. It's just that's it's just how it is. But but shifting gears on that too a little bit, with technology and with now you can make movies that hit a big stage that don't come out of Hollywood, and I imagine that's got to be a blessing to the career where not only you get to do these movies you want, but you're not having to go through the Hollywood stamp of approval to get it to everybody. Yeah. If that makes sense.
No question. I mean, when my wife and I moved on from Hollywood, we formed Sorbo Studios, so please go to sorbostudios.com. I got 4 new projects coming out this year. I got 3 documentaries coming out this year. So we've been very blessed. I've worked not only through our own studio doing independent films, but the independent market has exploded. And there's so many good projects out there right now from other people that want to do family-driven movies. And you're right, it's really picked up. And with the technology we have, with the camera equipment and everything else, we look just as good as anybody out there. We just tell better stories.
Yeah, and it's changing the game. And then where people go to access movies and see things now, it's good, bad, and different. You know, a lot of people don't walk into a movie theater to see a movie anymore, and that's, you know, as a guy that grew up with that, I kind of miss some of that. But at the same time, I do like the fact that I have, you know, I can literally sit here right now, get on my phone, and watch any movie in the world almost.
Yeah.
You know, that is a nice thing to have too.
That's definitely that's one of the positive things that come out of COVID. That's definitely a positive thing. But
no question.
Not many things, but that is definitely one thing.
So let me ask this with the event coming up here April 4th, 5th, and 6th. Again, it's going to be for folks that are just tuning in here. Mark here with My Ashley Foundation is partnered with the Artesia Downtown Lions, and they're going to have a big golf scramble in April. It'll be April 4th, 5th, and 6th there in Artesia. But Friday night, the 4th, they're having a banquet, and they're going to have delicious food and evening of gathering, and Kevin Sorbo is going to be our guest speaker for that evening. Kind of give the flow of the event. What's kind of, you know, how's the schedule going to go? I'm going to guess, Kevin, you're an avid golfer, so are you going to hang around and whack a few balls as well and do what? Kind of talk about how the weekend's going to flow for you guys.
I'll let Mark take that.
Kevin, just go. I go where you point me.
So, hey, whenever when you got Kevin on the phone, you want to make sure that he leads that. Yeah, because so April the 4th, we're going to have a VIP starting at 5:00 at the Country Club here in Artesia.
Okay.
And those are for partners in with the foundation. So if anyone is interested in becoming a partner with our foundation, it's not just not just necessarily just for this golf tournament and this fun. We do a lot of things like Red Zone, and we got a really neat guy coming for Red Zone on the 12th of April. Alec Ingold, he's a fullback for the Miami Dolphins, and he's coming down to share his testimony and speak to our communities. So anyway, so if you want to be a partner, you can go to our website at myashley.org, and obviously that's spelled myashleah.org. And then just click on the link that has the first annual golf tournament. And then you can go in there and pick what partnership you want to be a part of. Now, and then at 6:00, we're going to serve a nice dinner to the people that come, and you can get those tickets. Those are $50 a person. You can get those tickets at the Chamber of Commerce here in Artesia. Or you can go to our website as well and contact us through there. And there is a link there, a QR code that you can click on to be able to access your ticket and RSVP there. And so that'll kick off at 6. You have a nice dinner. And then, of course, entertainment. Have a, like a 20-minute little comedian type thing that's going to be done before kind of get the crowd ready, and then we're going to quickly auction off 4 items, including a chance to play a round of golf with us on Saturday, the next one with Kevin. So
nice.
So if you want to have a chance to play golf with Kevin Sorbo, and then come to the banquet dinner.
Kevin's going to want to know your handicap first, though. I think.
I always say it's my wife, but that's an old Rodney Dangerfield joke.
Yeah. Well, hey, I hadn't told Kevin yet. He better have some strong shoulders to carry me, because I'm going to need to be carried a little bit on the golf course that day.
That's all good. Well, Mark, I got to interrupt you for a second, because we got my wife Sam speaking as well. She's a homeschool advocate.
That's right.
She travels the country. Like I said, if people go to sorbostudios.com, we share that site together. I got my stuff on one side of it. She's got her stuff, and we got the middle part of it with both of us. So
cool.
She'll be definitely speaking as well.
Oh, very good.
Well, and I'm glad you said that too, Kevin, because just if you haven't heard her speak before, she's a powerful speaker, and so not only going to get to hear Kevin share, you're going to get to hear Sam share as well, and she's just got an amazing way she brings truth to the listeners. And so we're looking really forward to hearing her speak as well. So,
And also, Mark, on Sunday at your church, we're speaking at your church.
Oh,
as well.
excellent.
Yes, that's right. Yep. Sunday morning at 9:30 at Harvest Fellowship.
Okay.
After the praise and worship is done, Kevin and Sam are going to go up, and it's going to be kind of a campfire type setting. And Pastor Ronnie and Angela are going to spend some time up there, just talking back and forth for people to just kind of hear the dynamics of the Sorbos, and they're, and I'm sure they're going to speak about their beautiful, amazing children and all the things that they're doing, and just it's going to be an amazing time. This weekend, or that weekend, is going to be a very, very neat time for our community. So don't miss it. Get your tickets. Come out and play golf. Now, let me say this too, Mike, is that so to keep this intimate. Now we can fit over 400. I'm told over 400 whatever people in there.
Sure.
But we're going to keep it at 300.
Okay.
We want it to be an intimate crowd.
Sure.
So
don't want to rush people.
Don't wait like typically. Yeah, don't wait like a lot of people do in this community till the last minute to go get your tickets, because I've got to hand in the number by the 1st of April, so we have the proper amount of food. So get your tickets early, because we're going to shut those things off April 1st.
Very good.
Don't wait.
And for the golf enthusiast, it is a shotgun start at 9 a.m. It's a 3-man scramble.
Yep.
$50 per person.
Yep.
Plus your green and cart fees and everything else. They're gonna. I guess you can win a Bronco Sport on one of the holes. There is what I'm thinking.
Yep. You're on number 7. If you hit a hole in one, you'll win a Bronco Sport.
Nice.
That was donated to us by actually one of our partners within the foundation, and so that's a neat deal. So if you want to play golf, call the pro shop here in Artesia.
Excellent.
And speak to Juan or any of the people there, and get your team in. We kept the price low, $50 a person. That's hard to find anywhere.
Sure. Usually it's. I've seen 3 times that.
And so this is about outreach. This is about community. God resources it. So we're not worried about that. So but come out and be a part of this with us and have some fun with
absolutely. It. And I imagine too, if you call the pro shop and you want to sign up as an individual, they can pair teams together and stuff. So if you don't have 2 other people to golf with you, then they'll find 2 for you. It's no problem.
Absolutely. Yeah. Do that. Yeah.
Good deal. And of course, if you want to be a sponsor, please go out to the website and sign up for any of those, because like you said, all this money is going to the My Ashley Foundation and going to keep the projects and the things you're going to help the ministry, to help people, and to really, especially folks dealing with tragedy like yourself, that your family have gone through, that we can help people, go through and get to the other side and become better people. That's what this organization is about. And so by you coming out and enjoying a great evening with Kevin and eating delicious food and coming and playing some golf, you're really making a difference in people's lives. So come have some fun and make a difference.
And also, Mike, just I want to make sure I mention, I think I did, that the Downtown Lions Club are the ones that partnered with us. They're amazing people. We love them, and we wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for the Lions, as far as the golf part of it and things. So I just want to make sure that people know that those guys are a big part of us.
Yeah, they have servers' hearts as well.
Yes, they do.
Kevin, I was kind of curious. You were talking about your wife and her and the thing she does. Do you guys get because I would think as an actor you travel a lot and you probably get a lot of time where you're not near your family, but with your situation, do you get to spend, do you get to travel with the family and work with the family? Like, is that something you guys get to do, or is there a lot of time away from each other?
Well, when we homeschooled, the kids are now 23, 21, and 19, but when we homeschooled, they would travel with me. Because I still shoot about 3 or 4 movies a year, so I'd be on location anywhere from 3 weeks to 5 weeks. So they would travel with all the time. So with homeschooling, obviously, you can travel anywhere.
Sure.
But now as a little bit older, it's like, Dad, I'm cool. I'm going to hang out with my friends. You know,
Right.
they're at that age.
They want to be less
doing
with the
their own
parents.
thing.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, and but both my boys are acting. My one son Braden's done like 10 movies by now. My son Shane has done about 5 movies, but he's also been modeling. He spent the summer in Europe, and now he's heading down to Mexico City to work down there.
Nice.
So
You think they're going to outdo?
Yes.
You think they're going to outdo Dad in the acting world? Like as far as skill set?
Well, they're
think they
already
got the
way
skills?
ahead of me at that age. At that age, I was just doing commercials. They're making movies already. So.
All right. Well, then I got the question.
But we do travel.
Oh, well, good. That's good. But I'm glad because that's one thing that you always hear sometimes with with Hollywood and just any job like that in general. It's like, I'm gone away months from the family and stuff, and that can be problems for folks. I was just curious how you navigated that. So, very cool.
We make them no more than 2 weeks apart at all if we do that at all.
Good deal. So now we already know who's got the acting. Who's got the better golf skills, yourself or your kids?
Oh, I do by far.
Because I'll crush them on the course.
They don't have the bug like I do for it, But I grew up football, basketball, baseball. But my dad was a school teacher in summers. 5 kids. He's got to work another job in the summers. So.
Sure.
He got a job at a golf course. So at a young age, I would just go out there and whack the ball around. And of course, all my football and basketball buddies made fun of me for playing golf. By the way, they all play the game now.
I'm about to say, I was like, they're probably all now avid golfers.
They all do. But it's a very addictive game. My oldest son wears a T-shirt that says, "If you don't golf, don't start."
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I tell people about radio. Sounds like fun. I'm like, yeah. Good deal. So, Kevin, what are you working on now? I know I was looking at the IMDb. You've always got 4 or 5 projects. It seems to be going. What's coming up for you? What can people look for next from Kevin Sorbo?
Well, I got a movie in India that I'll be shooting. It's more of an action adventure one, so it's harking back to my Hercules days. It's kind of a Pirates of the Caribbean type movie. We're shooting on a couple islands in the Indian Ocean there, and then I've got 3 documentaries coming out that I'm very excited for. I still have some narration doing one, but one is definitely coming out Easter week. It's going to be released, and it deals with the Last Supper, and it's called Eating with the Enemy. I think people find it very interesting. It's sort of a follow-up to one I did a couple years ago with the same company called Ingenuity Films. It's owned by Brent Miller, is the CEO of the company. They do amazing faith documentaries. We had one that came out a couple years ago dealing with the Second Coming called Before the Wrath, and it became the #1 documentary on Amazon for 5 months.
Wow.
So got another one coming out. I spent 3 weeks in Israel just before the war broke out. Through archaeological digs, we traced the flow of the Ark of the Covenant. So I was the real Indiana Jones.
Oh, wow.
So there you go. And it's called The Quest for the Throne of God. We have so much footage now, they're contemplating making it a 4-part miniseries.
Wow. And you know what? It's cool that, that you've got so much going on here, but I think it's also that you get the unique experience of going to places and seeing people everyone sees everything on social media or on the news, and you get your opinions one way or another about things. But until you set foot in a place and talk to the people and see firsthand, it's not what you see on social media and living experience. People are people, man, and you'll find out as you hang out with more of them, they're more like you than you realize. And so, do you get when you get to Israel? Do you get to or is it just because I know with work and budgets and money and everything's like you're here, but do you get time to go out and about, so to speak?
Oh yeah, I mean we shoot these documentaries. We're there to discover the land.
Gotcha.
I've been to Israel about
so it's
6
part of the
times
work.
now.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's just very fortunate. I mean, look, when I got Hercules, I lived in New Zealand 7 years. When I finished college, I went to Europe to spend 3 months. I stayed for 3.5 years. I signed with agencies in Milan and Paris and all over. Did commercial work and things like that. So I really learned. It made me grow up. Here I was in my early 20s, and it really made me grow up. And it was a very fascinating journey, and that sort of set the seed for me. You want to travel. And by the way, I do got to bring out, my wife and I normally take a group to Israel every year. And last year, of course, the war broke out, and this year people are still nervous to go there, even though it's pretty safe to go there now. But instead of following in the footsteps of Jesus, my wife and I are hosting an event in Greece, and it's walking in the footsteps of Paul. So we're going to spend 12 days in Greece, and we have some openings there. So for people listening right now, you want to come on a little cruise with us, little trip. It's not a cruise. I think it was one day we get in a boat to go to an island on outside of Greece, but it's going to be an amazing trip. If you go to sorbostudios.com, you can look for events on there, and you get every information. There's like a 12-page sort of pitch deck that tells you all the places we're going to go. And the last 2 days that we added on, we're going to go to, we're going to Mount Olympus, because Hercules, after all, we might as well see Mount Olympus over there.
Since you're there and all.
Then on the last day, we're going to go to the site where the Battle of the movie 300 actually took place.
Oh, interesting.
So it was the 300 Spartans taking on the 10,000 Muslims, and back in, centuries ago. So I hope people want to come along and get a little history and learn a little bit more about the Apostle Paul.
Yeah, sounds like an amazing trip. So go to and that's sorbostudios.com, you said?
Yes, sir. sorbostudios.com.
Very good. And
hey, Mike, I'll send you that link, Mike, to the actual page there, and that way you
okay,
can
excellent.
share that.
And then we can put it up on our social medias and all that in the video, and they share all this stuff later.
Yep. I think Mark might be joining us.
Yes, I think it sounds like
exactly
an amazing
what we're
trip.
looking for.
I think it does too. But I just saw the time. We probably better wrap this up. But in the meantime, before we're going to overseas here, we'd love for you to join us here in Artesia, April 4th, 5th, and 6th for the Artesia Downtown Lions Club and My Ashley Foundation Golf Tournament. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, April 4th, 5th, and 6th. We'll kick things off Friday night with the banquet. Kevin will be our guest speaker for that evening, and we'll have a great night there. And then 2 days of golf. And
Along with Sam.
Yes. And to Sam too. I forgot. I don't want to leave anybody out.
Yeah, don't forget. Yeah.
So bring your funny bone, because you're gonna need that too. So and then come ready to have fun, and come really. By coming out and eating copious amounts of food, having fun, and golfing, you are making a difference in people's lives. So we're asking you to help people, but it's really not a lot of work. So
absolutely.
I will leave the.
We're gonna have some neat. Yeah, I'm sorry, Mike. I too just want everybody to know we're gonna have some really neat items for our silent auction, and so. A couple of those items are, I said, from Christian McCaffey. We got his last night, a pair of his gloves that he wore, and a jersey, and CJ Stroud from the Texans are sending some stuff too. So
he's a good dude.
And of course, Kevin's going to have some stuff there as well that we got.
Well,
so
let me know if you
come out and. Yep.
I'm a boy that grew up in Maryland, D.C. area, so I am a lifelong Washington fan. Redskins, now Commanders fan. So
okay.
If a Jaden Daniels thing just so happens to pop across your radar there.
Oh, man. Yeah. Yeah. He's definitely someone that, well, I think Christian's going to be here for our 2026 Red Zone, so we'll hopefully that all works out.
Absolutely, too. But Kevin, is there anything you wanted to mention, or anything that we didn't get a chance to talk about that you wanted to make sure we got out there?
No, I think we covered it all. I'm just looking forward to people showing up, and I think we're going to have a great time, and I think we have some great messages to share with people as well.
Absolutely. Mark, is there anything we didn't cover that you wanted to make sure we covered?
No, we just appreciate you having us on and allowing us to share our lives, and we're looking forward to meeting people April 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Excellent. Well, Mark, thank you for doing what you're doing and creating this foundation with your family and doing the work that you do. Kevin, thank you for the work you're doing as well too, and joining us here today. But it's greatly appreciated, and one at a time kind of thing. That's Christianity at work. Or one at a time. You just try to get people to help and see the light, and events like this are very much a part of that. So thank you both for doing what you do, and thank you for spending time with us, and hope to maybe who knows, maybe have you in studio one day.
Perfect. Love it.
All right. Well, thank you guys,
Thanks.
and take care, and God bless.
Thanks.
All right.
Thanks, Kevin.
Okay.
See you. All right.
Thanks, Mark.
All right. Thank you.
You bet. Bye-bye.
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 All right, that was Kevin Sorbo and Mark Richards with My Ashley Foundation. Come on out. So if you want to golf, come out, and like I said, Kevin's going to be out there golfing too, and come meet and be a great night of speaking. And of course, if you're not familiar with, if you haven't heard of or seen Kevin since Hercules, he's been pretty busy. He gets, like you said, he is in the conservative Christian kind of world now, and that's where his movies and where he goes. And so if you'd like to come out and be a part of it, I think it'd be a good time. All right, it is 9:48. Let's pause for news, Hannity update, sports. We'll get some weather and all that good in there, too. And then we'll wrap up the show. Don't go away.
Now, for your Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Sorello. Thanks for joining us. A Roswell man has been convicted for murder and for shooting at or from an occupied vehicle, as well as 4 counts of child abuse. This case in connection to the shooting death of a woman in 2018. A jury convicted Raymond Anthony Lucero Jr. after a 4-day trial last week. Lucero's former girlfriend, Tess Haraghi, was killed when police said Lucero opened fire, firing multiple rounds into the woman's home in the 1200 block of West Hobbs Street in Roswell. The Artesia Senior Center is hosting art classes on Thursday mornings. The classes are put on by Artesia's own Junior Thurman. And, of course, you can always check out all of the Artesia Senior Center activities through their website or on their Facebook page. You're up to date. That's a look at local news headlines this hour. I'm Jared Sorello reporting.
Turn up your radio. Here's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
Remember, Crimea was annexed under Obama and Biden. This war started under Joe Biden. And what happened is it evolved into a conflict, basically a proxy war between the U.S. and Russia. Now, what do I mean by proxy war? Because if we weren't providing hundreds of billions of dollars, I'm sorry, the military might of Russia. This is simple mathematics when it comes to warfare. They have more soldiers. They have more sophisticated equipment. They are more prepared for war. But if it wasn't for the United States and to a smaller extent European countries providing the weaponry to Ukraine, this war would have been over.
Check out the Sean Hannity radio show later today, right here.
Hey, your friend Sean Hannity here. We're seeing more and more crime reported every single day. Home invasions, road rage incidents, the list goes on. But all of these incidents don't require lethal force. In fact, according to law enforcement statistics, 99% of all altercations do not require lethal force. You need a less lethal plan so you don't end up behind bars. That's where Burner, the less lethal self-defense option, comes in. The Burner less lethal self-defense platform provides formidable stopping power without the complexities and potential legal consequences of a homicide. Now, Burner launchers are legal in all 50 states. You don't need a background check. You don't need a permit. No waiting period. I own them. I give them away as gifts to my friends, my family. Just go to Burner, byrna.com/Hannity. You'll get a 10% discount off any purchase. byrna.com/Hannity. Burner, where safety meets responsibility and preparation meets peace of mind.
Let's look at the girls' state basketball tournament. First round coming up this Friday. Roswell, as the 14th seed in Class 5A, they made it into the draw, and they'll play at number 3 Mayfield. Mayfield is 24-3 overall. Roswell, not a bad record, 14-13. These two teams played on January the 10th. Mayfield won in Roswell by 11 points. Meanwhile, Goddard slips into the tournament with a 13-14 record in Class 4A. They'll play at number 1 Kirtland Central. The Broncos are 25-3. That's Friday afternoon at 5. Dexter in Class 3A, 17-11 overall, will play at number 2 West Las Vegas. Friday at 6. Don't hold out high hopes for the Demons. They lost 75-11 earlier to the same team. Gateway Christian at Cliff in Class 1A, Friday at 6. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're getting some return flow around that low pressure system up in the Central Plains, and that'll kick the wind up to about 50 or 55 miles an hour today. Watch out for some areas of blowing dust. We'll have partly sunny skies this morning, sunshine this afternoon, and we're in the upper 60s to about 70. Overnight will be clear. The wind will calm down a little bit. Our lows in the low 30s, sunny and mid-60s Wednesday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. President Trump has followed through on his threat to impose additional tariffs on Canada, China, and Mexico, 25% on goods from Canada and Mexico, an additional 10% on Chinese imports. China and Canada are imposing retaliatory tariffs, while Mexico threatens retaliation. Target, the latest retailer to check in with its quarterly results. Sales and profits slipped during the crucial holiday shopping season. However, Target did exceed expectations. Walgreens jumped 4.8% in the early going after the Wall Street Journal reported the struggling pharmacy chain is in the midst of a deal to go private. Citing unnamed sources, the Journal reports that private equity firm Sycamore Partners would take the struggling drugstore chain off the public market for around $10 billion. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
Springtime is coming quickly, and that means it's time for the Spring Open House for high school students and their parents at Eastern New Mexico University. Join us Saturday, March 22nd, as we welcome potential students and their family members to campus. ENMU will feature campus tours, opportunities to meet with current students and professors, information on scholarships, and chances to win great prizes. Sign up today at enmu.edu/open house. Eastern New Mexico University. Student success. That's what we're about.
Who doesn't think the dentist is a big deal? I know what you're thinking. What will they find? How much will it hurt? What are my options? Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher, and I am here to tell you that here at Carabelli Dental, it is our job to put you at ease. With options like sedation dentistry, you can rest assured that regardless of what dental work you might need, you can get it done while resting comfortably. Call our office now and speak to our knowledgeable staff about setting up your new patient appointment.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental or call 575-622-4455.
If you need a Kubota that works and plays hard, stop looking. You'll find everything you need at Amigo Machinery. When it comes to tough Kubota tractors, mowers, construction equipment, and utility vehicles, all with low-rate financing, Amigo Machinery is your one-stop shop. We are passionately committed to providing our customers with the highest quality products, most innovative solutions, and services delivered with integrity and professionalism. Stop by Amigo Machinery in Roswell or see us online at amigo-machinery.com. Have you experienced the Valley Cafe yet? It's much more than lunch or dinner. It's an experience. Chef Anthony Noble is a nominated Chef of the Year and manager with a 4.9 out of 5 kitchen cleanliness rating and a 4.8 out of 5 most love rating. It's time for you to experience the difference that so many others already have at the Valley Cafe. Visit for lunch or dinner at 801 West Brasher, the Orange Building across from Church on the Move in Roswell, and save the Valley Cafe in your contacts. 575-755-EATS, 575-755-3287. Don't forget, we can cater your event too, and a portion of our proceeds go to the Dream Center in Roswell.
Get ready, Artesia. The main event car show and cruise is rolling into town Friday, March 28th and Saturday, March 29th, 2025. Friday night, we're kicking things off at 6 p.m. with the Main Street Cruise. Watch as classic cars, hot rods, and muscle cars take over Main Street, cruising by the decade. It's a moving history lesson with a whole lot more horsepower. Then Saturday from 9 to 3, downtown Artesia transforms into the ultimate car lover's paradise. Cars, trucks, motorcycles, bikes, even tractors. It's free family fun with music, friendly competition, and more. Want in on the action? Register your ride at artesiachamber.com or stop by 107 North 1st Street in Artesia. The main event car show and cruise, March 28th and 29th in downtown Artesia. Brought to you by the Artesia Car Enthusiasts, Artesia Chamber, and Artesia Main Street. Paid for by Artesia Logitech.
The 2024-25 junior college basketball season is drawing to a close, but you still have 2 opportunities to see your NMMI Broncos this season. Monday, New Mexico Junior College pays a visit to Cahoon Armory in a battle of New Mexico junior colleges. And on Thursday, the season concludes with Western Texas College. Tip-off Monday is 7 p.m., Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Come watch your NMMI Bronco basketball team one last time this season. Your support is greatly appreciated.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Turtles can breathe through their butts. We imagine you know some people who do that too, because that's where their heads reside. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is closing in on 9:58. I just saw online here about 50 minutes ago, they announced that the Roswell relief route is again closed this morning between South Sunset Avenue and West McGaffey Street due to the poor visibility amid the brownout conditions. There is also closures on US 70 West and west of the city and on US 285 to the south of the city. So they're already closing streets. nmroads.com. Stay up to date on those road closure details and all that stuff. Download the app or go to their website to keep the latest as those and when they do open back up and all that. But probably for the day based on the weather and all that good stuff. So we'll keep you up to date. Any changes, anything happens, any delays, closures, whatever pops up from today's things happen, we'll let you know as we get them coming in here. Of course, if you missed any part of our show, don't forget you can always check out our interviews at your leisure. Just log on to ksvptv.com, click on the Mornings with Mike Winters channel, and you'll find all of our interviews there. This morning we had Doug Weiser join us from the Walker Aviation Museum. We had a great conversation with him. And we replayed our interview we had with John Hauser from Eastern New Mexico University in Portales, talking about their State of Eastern event happening here in Roswell on the 21st. And, of course, this hour we had Mark from My Ashley Foundation and actor and best-selling author Kevin Sorbo join us as well, talking about their event April 4th, 5th, and 6th in Artesia. Golf Scramble banquet that Friday night with Kevin guest speaking in that as well. So you can go back and check out those interviews, ksvptv.com, in the Mornings with Mike Winters channel. That's going to be it for us for today. Thank you so much for allowing us to be a part of your day. We'll be back bright and early tomorrow. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. Take care, everybody.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. President Trump has directed a pause to U.S. assistance to Ukraine as he seeks to pressure Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky to engage in negotiations to end the war with Russia. We have this update from reporter Bernie Bennett.
The move comes just days after a contentious Oval Office meeting in which President Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance confronted Zelensky for what they perceived as insufficient gratefulness for the more than $180 billion in military aid the U.S. has sent to Kyiv since Russia invaded 3 years ago. A White House official said that Trump is focused on reaching a peace deal and wants Zelensky, quote,